y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to another Thursday of the Ooh Ladies First Panel. Your faves are ready to go. Okay? Ready to go. I'm excited to talk to y'all. Y'all already know where to follow all of us. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Ooh Ladies First. Low key, we've reached another milestone of time that we've been doing this live show because it's a whole new platform out called Thread. So maybe we need to make a thread and y'all can follow us on Thread.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
think so?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be fun. We could live tweet from that account too whenever we watch the shows.
I wonder if they can all our accounts. That way we can, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
be us and be under the Ooh Ladies First.
Well, I know that's something they're working on.
Okay.
Because people were telling Maurice Mastery, I think that's his name, like the head person of Instagram, they were adding him, telling him he need to have multiple accounts. And he was like, we're working on it. They got a long list of stuff they're working on. They said it may take some time, but they got us.
Yeah, take your time because I
Get
like
it right.
publicity and I don't want y'all to pick it up because y'all picked up Instagram.
Can we talk a
Hell
little
yeah.
more about Threads for a second, though?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Because I am loving it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving it. And what I really like is the fact of I love how a lot of people are on the platform, right? Like when I was on Spill, you know, you still needed people to come in, but now you're seeing so many familiar faces come in. I think they had like 1 million plus people join. I think it was like 5 million people within like 4 or 5 hours. I love that. And it gives you the opportunity, at least it gives them the opportunity to fix certain things as they go to where they're going to end up being better than Twitter. So the things that we may have wanted Twitter to have, they're going to end up getting. And I like how you can bounce in between both of the apps with just like a click of a button. I'm like, girl,
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can. Of course, they give you like the little Instagram symbol at the very top of Threads where you can click on it, go back to your profile or anybody's profile. And then also on your main profile, you can tap on the ad number. It's like right under your photo, it's like an ad symbol, and then it's some numbers. And you can like tap on that and it'll flip you back to Threads if you want to go. So I'm like, oh, come on. Like, yeah. This is it. And then they have longer characters. You could type more than you could type on Twitter. Your videos can last longer than what they last on Twitter. Like
I noticed that.
It's dope. It's dope. They just got a few minor things they need to work out with. Listen, for this to be like the beta test, the version 1, it's good. And I see why Twitter is trying to sue. Girl.
They should have been done this.
Twitter was like, we on y'all here.
I like that as our intro topic. Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's going on?
I like that. I was going to start off with a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I guess since we're talking about this, I actually got 2 questions.
Okay.
Since we're talking about this, number 1, are you going to keep Twitter and Thread? Or are you just going to go to 1? Because I'm hearing a lot of people say they ain't going to keep 2.
No, I'm keeping both because sometimes Instagram will go down and then we have to go to Twitter to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So if Instagram and Thread is down together, I need to go to Twitter to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
So I'm keeping.
Child. Now, somebody just reminded me that I spelled something wrong and I was just like, oh shit. I didn't even notice that. It's too late now. I spelled it wrong, bitch.
On Threads?
That's not wrong. Where?
No, on my YouTube video. I did a video about the veto and I put lost instead of loss. And it's just like in my mind, girl, autopilot.
Yeah. Well, we was off last week, but I wanted to say congratulations, Jamie, on your 50,000.
Oh, thank you. It's been a long time coming, it feels like.
Girl, you know.
Yep. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Girl, listen, I was about to say before you said that, at least I know the difference between here and here, girl. At least I know here.
Period. And here.
Okay.
Hello.
I know my there and my there, girl. Okay.
A period.
Okay. 2-parent household.
Okay. And please know that difference. Okay. Girl, it's been a lost cause ever since, ain't it?
She said everybody ain't slower than the 5th grader. When Mel said that, I was like,
you know, in your little girl ass business, okay?
Bitch, that's tragic.
As fuck. Okay.
It's like she goes through an annual embarrassment. Like it's like an annual, you know how you have like your annual celebrations? She's always due for like an annual embarrassment.
Are we starting there? Because I don't want to give.
No, we don't.
Nah, don't give too. Yeah.
Not yet.
That's later on.
Whew,
Yeah.
That's later on because I'm trying to go back to something real light, real quick.
don't generate my
Listen.
Not
We
yet.
about to get the
Okay,
morphine like the Power Rangers in just a second.
let me go to something light. I got a question. We friends here, right?
Yeah.
So let me tell y'all my business. Okay, so I have a friend, and it's lightweight, kind of annoying that they the type of friend where like when they get into a relationship, it's no longer I, it's always we. Like, hey, I wanted to see if you wanted to go to brunch, or hey, I wanted to see if you, and it's a, oh, we, or we got to do this, and they talking about the person they in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would y'all do in that situation? And have y'all experienced it?
Yes, I have been that person by accident. I wasn't trying to be that person, but if you don't tell me it's just the women, then I don't know not to bring him. Like you gotta
Mm-hmm.
tell me it's just the girls, so I know. Okay, I'll leave him at home. But don't be like, oh, we don't invite you because you always bringing your husband. Like, bitch, you ain't tell me this was supposed to be a girls only event, bitch. It was supposed to be just family. The nigga, my husband, that's my family. Anyway, but outside of that, especially now that I'm older, I just kind of you gotta let the girls figure it out because whenever you tell them, they think you hating, they think you don't know what you're talking about. If they don't already have that inside of themselves, you just gotta let them figure it out for themselves that they are they're becoming, girl, they're becoming a rib. And they think it's cute to be a rib. And then you find out, bitch, you is a whole person. That nigga is not missing a rib. Okay? He's not missing a rib. All of the ribs are there. Y'all have the same number of ribs. Google it. So you just gotta, she gonna have to get out of that mindset on her own. But you should just
Yeah.
like you should say, well,
Mm-hmm.
to just be the girls.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if that's your friend, I think you should be able to have that conversation. Like, y'all, no, it's just gonna be like a link up, like just as girls. See, I haven't experienced that, nor have I been that person. Although I enjoy being around, my man a lot. I don't invite, like, I keep that separate. Like, if I'm going to hang out with my homegirls, I'm going to hang, because I just be thinking, like, I don't know what they want to confide in me about at that time, that they don't want to have that. They don't want to have him there for that, So
Right.
it's just like I don't. When he go with his boys, I'm not over there like I'm trying to go, unless it's
Right.
that type of event. But outside of that, like, nah. And I haven't had any of my friends do that. I
Hmm.
haven't experienced that, but I would think that I would be able to have that conversation with them and be like, yo, can you leave him at home this time? Like, I'm just trying to see my friend. Like, girl,
See,
just
this is
'cause-
my problem, y'all. My problem is the minute somebody get on my nerves, I'll be like, fuck it. We ain't hanging out. like that's my problem. My problem is that I'll be like, fuck it too fast. My problem, like, I have to literally train myself to be like, oh, well, maybe you should have a conversation. Maybe you should tell him how you feel, when like my instinct is just like, you ain't getting invited nowhere. That's my
Well, then I
instincts.
think you might have to reevaluate whether you want the friendship or not. Because if you move like that, they gonna feel like you don't fuck with them, or you don't want them around. Like,
I
oh, okay,
do.
I see how Necey moving. Like, okay, bet I ain't gonna hit her up. I'm gonna wait till she hit me up. I guess we ain't gonna talk then. Da, 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 da.
Oh no, I'm good for that. But it gotta be something that had happened for me to be like, okay, that this is you needing to say something, right? Other than that, like, nah, with this situation, she probably don't even know that is,
Yeah,
bothering you because a
She
lot.
or he.
absolute.
Oh, is it a him?
Oh, it's a he.
Yeah, I ain't want to say too much because I ain't trying to reveal their identity, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well then, nah, it's definitely like you're gonna have to say something because yeah, you're gonna have to say something. If he already bring it, yeah.
And see, this is what got me questioning. Right? How long have they been together?
Probably a year. Probably a year.
So I don't know how he is, and I don't know what she experienced in her past relationship, but it does make me question about her level of security. And if that's something that he does to make her feel secure, which is, yeah, you can come, like, ain't that with me and my homegirl? Like, she just that's my friend. Like, we just link up, like, yeah, you could come. He probably does that for a safety thing for her feelings and that relationship.
That's why.
And I think if you and her probably got to know each other individually, then maybe,
Why you don't want
I
to?
ain't,
She might be cool with y'all two hanging out.
I want to add so much context, but I ain't gonna do it here. Cause next time I'll be that fake bitch to talk about their friends on the internet. So I ain't gonna do it here.
Name because I talk about these hoes all the time. I don't get no name.
Nah, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna talk to y'all. Like, I gotta give y'all more more context.
Oh, damn.
But in a very like black and white situation, I do understand what y'all saying. Low key, my therapist be telling me, "Well, you have to tell people how to treat you. You have to communicate with people. You can't just." And I just be like, "Fuck it, nah, bye."
Nah, Necey be like, nah, my friends should already know. They should know me.
But I'm gonna tell you,
Yes.
listen, I'm gonna tell you, I low key feel like you probably should run with your gut because at the end of the day, if he already caught up like that in a year to make those types of changes, ain't nothing you say gonna sink in because he's
He
swimming.
gone.
That's how they
Yeah.
be in it. And if she doesn't, if she not cool, then he not gonna make no adjustments. Especially y'all around the same age.
Yeah.
Don't make no
Yeah,
adjustments.
we've been friends since like 10 years now.
Yeah.
And y'all have no history together whatsoever.
Who? Me and the partner of the person?
You and the
No,
friend.
you and the guy. You and the friend.
Oh yeah, no, he's gay.
Oh, so
that's another guy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
He just around because we don't really like him like that. And
That's what it's giving.
I had fun. You know what I'm saying? But your friend can't come through.
Yeah, fuck it. Let me tell the story,
He
okay?
be doing too much or something. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like they've been together for a while. This is a good person. I like their relationship together. But he gets so like involved in his relationships that like, and he did this with the last boyfriend. It's no longer like you have a friendship with him. You have a friendship with him and his boyfriend. And like that's how it is. And then like he's cool, don't get me wrong. I really like this person, but I don't know him enough. The partner, I don't know him enough. And then for two, like he's very quiet whenever my best friend in here, she know who the fuck I'm talking about. I can't deal. I just saw her comment. Anyway, like the friend is not black. So whenever he's around, it's like he's cool, but in the back of my mind, it's like he's just observing. So I don't feel like I can have that authentic conversation with my friend when you have somebody observing the group.
So
He not changing.
your friend white?
No, he's black, but his boyfriend is not black.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he gonna stay the same.
Yeah. Cut it out.
That's dead.
Let it go. Let him be
Because he has this thing in his head, in my opinion, he has this idea of how he probably always wants his relationships to be. And it's giving movie. Like the shit he see on movie, like my partner can go everywhere, this happy-go-lucky type bullshit. Like he has this fairy tale in his head. And until he sheds that, he gonna still be who he is. So you're gonna continue to have this issue.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking I'll just lay off until he get tired of that person. Because I feel like after you get tired of somebody,
more information than we need.
I know. You see her in the chat. I'm ignoring her comments right now because she ain't gonna say it. I'm ignoring her comments, whoever this girl is.
I'm hollering.
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna lay off and I'm gonna let him come around. I mean, I ain't mad or nothing, but it's just like,
nah, that's something you gotta grow out of. But you only grow out of it when you realize that it takes away from you.
Yes.
When you think it's just taking away from your friendships, because most people feel like their friendship should suffer for their romantic relationship. And the older you get, the more you realize, child, no, it's not. Because your romantic relationships might end. But child, your good Judies, your good friends will come and visit you down to the old folks' home. Okay.
Right.
Not disappointments. Okay. So you might want to rethink cutting off friendships for romantic relationships all of the time. It's not healthy.
I am dying in the fucking comments. I can't. Somebody said they switched to their phone just to get to see. Okay. Enough about me. We're gonna move on, okay? This is gonna be like a mixed bag conversation. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about is this little girl called Van Van. I have never heard of her before. until like this topic came up. She got 246,000 followers on Instagram, but I feel like she's really known on TikTok where she does raps with her dad. So the people are upset because her parents created a Cameo account. Okay. And if you're not familiar, a Cameo account is where you can like pay celebrities or pay people to make personalized videos. You know how you do, oh, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. You pay however much to get the personalized video. So I wanted to know y'all's thoughts on that, but not before I show y'all this video from this lady that I saw on TikTok talking about another little girl whose parents made her an account on Cameo. So let me go ahead and play this real quick.
Well, some parents pimp out their kids for $14 over on Cameo. Let it be known, this child is 11 years old. She's not a celebrity. She is merely a child being exploited by her parents online, who is now forced to do videos like this.
Hey David, I just wanted to say happy birthday and I hope you had a wonderful birthday. And your birthday is on Cinco de Mayo, which I think is awesome. And I think it's amazing that you're a firefighter and EMT. Bye David and happy birthday. Mwah.
And my assumption is this adult male, David, the firefighter, bought this as a little present to himself. He probably also subscribes to their exclusive content over on the photo app. Maybe has even sent them a gift from their Amazon wish list. This is what is happening online. Go check out my Mummy Ran account playlist.
Okay, so.
Can you pull that little girl's picture back up for a second? I want to see something.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Okay.
This is Van Van.
Okay, so I don't know why she's saying the little girl not a celebrity. She has 200.
No, she wasn't referring to Van. So the lady on the TikTok video that I showed y'all is talking about another little
white girl that was in the video.
Yeah, she's just talking about the Cameo platform in general.
Gotcha. Oh, see, this is a tough one.
So what are y'all thoughts? Do y'all feel like parents are exploiting their children by doing that?
Yeah, but I feel like it's a fine line. And I also, because ultimately I feel like you really could, you could say anything. If your child is making any type of income, you can say you pimping your child out because you're not allowing them to just be a child. You're making them actually gain monetary value in your household. So I kind of feel like it's such a fine line, but I do understand what this lady is saying. And I agree that it's probably a breeding ground for, the edos or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I feel like, I'm with Bondi on that fine line because it's like, are they pimping them out or are they actually helping their kids do what it is that they say they want to do? Now, I feel like with Cameo, though, you don't necessarily have to go that route. Like if they want to be an influencer or make these TikTok videos or whatever, I feel like there's other ways to make money. Like, I guess do a YouTube channel, do something else, but Cameos, like really? I don't know. That just made me cringe watching this little girl telling a grown-ass man happy birthday and your birthday is on Cinco de Mayo. And I think that's cool. Like that, like I don't even think kids should even be allowed to be on that app. Right. And I think it's cool that you're a firefighter. Like, girl, it's giving How to Catch a Predator.
Yeah, like why do you want this little girl to tell you why you not paying for some adult woman with her titties in your face to tell you happy birthday? I'm okay.
Right. Why did you spend your $14 on that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely giving. Y'all need to write down his email and IP address and check in on him and see if they're
please
I need to pull up to his
him.
house.
What's his name? David. Please check in on David.
Okay. Nah.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say fine line is because I feel like y'all know kids make millions of dollars on YouTube playing with toys. And
Ryan's World.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Is he still making money?
I'm sure.
How old is he now?
I don't know. I would think probably 10 now, 10, 11. Somebody might know.
Exactly. So that's why I kind of feel like it is a fine line. And some kids really do know that they want to, be in entertainment at a very early age. It's not always the parent making them do something.
Right.
So that's another reason why I feel like it's a fine line. But essentially, I also feel like, the edos will find a way to sexualize anything. They do,
yeah.
Also, I feel like you can't really always be, do things from the standpoint of worrying about what some grown ass person is thinking, on the other side of the country, state, child, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
I do think the personalized videos is a bit much though. Like the YouTube videos, that's like generalized content, but the personalized videos,
right?
yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Now, if it was like a family thing and it was like the mom was in it and the daughter was in it too, and it was like, oh, happy birthday, David, da, 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 da. I probably would be okay with that. But you letting your daughter do it on her own, I can't get past your birthday on Cinco de Mayo, and that's
And why
pretty
is the
cool.
grown man a fan of the little girl?
Main thing. But that comment, somebody said, if the parents are using any of this money, that's where it becomes pimpish in a magical world where all this money is set. No, I don't agree with that either, because I feel like
Nah, I don't.
I don't agree that that's pimping just because they're using the money. Like, children cost money. So you mean to tell me if I'm providing for this child and they're making all this money online, I'm not supposed to use any of that money towards providing for them?
Correct. Pimping comes in when they mishandle the funds that the kids give them or that they make from the kids, like Disney children, right? When they came up, by the time they were teenagers, they had nothing to show for a lot of the money that they made as child stars. That's where the pimping came in. That's why, who was it? Was it Jessica Simpson? It was somebody that parted ways with their family. It was a white chick. Maybe it was Britney Spears.
Shit, Aaron Carter, it happened to him.
Right.
He was talking about that before
because they
he
was
died.
being pimped. Yeah.
A lot of them were, but shout out to Raven Simone, girl, because not Raven Simone's parents.
And not Jason Weaver mama either. She was not playing no games.
What's the similarities, y'all? But not all the time, but
Right. That's crazy. But I think that's when the pimping comes into it, when you mishandling those funds, But yeah, that's sad.
Okay.
So was it Amanda Bynes?
Oh yeah.
I feel like it was somebody else
Bynes
outside of
with the tattoo on her, and she was going through it. Somebody.
I really feel like that's who it was.
Amanda Bynes still struggling.
Somebody else parents actually did right, and I can't remember who. Lizzie McGuire. Her parents did her right.
Lizzie McGuire.
I could believe that.
I said Lizzie McGuire. Haley Duff.
I knew who you meant.
we here. The Olsen twins too. Them people ain't had to work since they came of age.
How was Macaulay Culkin?
He good too.
Is he
Y'all
good?
know he got a baby with Brenda Song.
He do, and his brothers are also actors. Like his younger brother is also a successful actor. He was in the Scream movies and stuff, and some other stuff. They look just alike. It's cuter. The younger brother's cuter.
Yeah, Tia and Tamara Perry.
He was in the Scream movie. Macaulay, his brother.
His younger brother. He was in Scream 4. I believe.
Well, they said he was emancipated. Oh, that was years ago. I think I do remember that. He was young.
But that doesn't mean that they spent up all the money. It could have just meant that the parents.
Oh, that is his brother. They look just alike. I didn't realize it.
I like him. He was on Me and Lyric movie back in the day. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was in that one.
Y'all know who I wonder if they did right is Hayden Panettiere. Everybody was talking about her last year because she lost custody of her kids. Did y'all hear about that?
No, she lost custody. Isn't she from the show she was on?
Isn't she what?
Hold up. Let me look her up because I need to see.
She had a drinking problem.
Peyton Pierre?
Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere. She
in Nashville and the Scream movies.
Yep, she had 3 kids. Ended up having postpartum. Got a divorce, and then lost custody of her kids. Basically, that's what happened.
That's the one who did something happen to her brother? Her brother passed away or something like that?
I think so.
I think he passed away this year or something.
Damn, I didn't know she was dating Milo Benetton McGillia or whatever the fuck. I didn't know.
We need a whole Where Are They Now?
I love my feelings. I love that nigga.
Oh God.
We need a whole one.
30.
But I just to go back real quick to the cameo. I just want to say that I don't think it's pimping, but I do think it's poor parenting. I want to say that it's poor parenting.
Both of them. It's both of them
For
for me.
$14. Check.
Okay, cool. All right. So next I have another question for y'all. And it's gonna be like a this or that question. So I have 2 cards in my hand, and y'all can only choose one. So I want to know between the 2 that I put on the screen, who is more pressed to get back on Bravo. I have Nene Leaks in one hand, and have Carlos King on the other. So I
Oh,
would
this
like
is
for y'all.
messy.
I would like for y'all to tell me, if y'all had to choose, just hypothetically speaking, which one do y'all think would like to work with Bravo
I'm going
more?
with Carlos. I'm going with Carlos, hands down. And I say it because of this. Number one, Nene only really speaks on Bravo when asked about Bravo. At least that's what it's been lately. When it comes to Carlos, he's going to give you continuous commentary, videos, podcasts, and anything else that he can about Bravo, and constantly remind you of how he know these people and his affiliations and stuff with Bravo. So I feel like it would be him more pressed. Did he say in one of his videos he was or maybe he didn't? I don't know. I feel like he said it, maybe not, about working with RHOP. I think he wanted to use his production company to go up there and work with RHOP or something, and they were like, you could come back, but not your production company. Like, you'll have to sign on under us or something like that. So it's
I didn't know
definitely
nothing
giving
about that.
Carlos. It's giving him inching to be back. Yep. But
For me,
oh, they want a poll in the chat, honey.
Yeah, let me go ahead and drop one. I just saw that.
I say Carlos, and I'm sure that Jamie said this. But him making the videos, like, you to me, you're doing what we told Nene to do, but Nene just couldn't be bothered. She couldn't be bothered with creating a YouTube page and actually doing consistent content. I think being on reality TV made her lazy. I think him losing his footing on reality TV made him more hungry or thirsty, however you want to look at it. And so I feel like, he's in a space where he thinks I can become Andy. I can tackle Andy, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I think he's also, low key in competition with the YouTubers. Like, he's trying to beat, the king of everything over there, is what it feels like. Keke, on the other hand, I feel like she could barely master her own relationships. She can't master nothing in business until she masters herself. And I'm just saying, like, as a woman, like, you too worried about penis, as far as I'm concerned. As soon as your husband passed away, the first thing we see is you floating around with this, this African dude, and it's been mess after mess with that, and we haven't seen you do anything. At least Carlos' penis love, feeds into his business. You know what I'm saying? Your penis love doesn't feed into anything, not even your own damn self. So, I hope for the best for Lanithia, of course. But she's not nearly as thirsty as Carlos, in my opinion.
Okay, I just dropped it. I just dropped a poll in the chat. Now, the reason why I was asking it is because Nene was seen out and about, just strolling. And I can't remember what news station it was. I think it might have been TMZ or somebody. And they basically asked her, would she ever come back to Bravo for the 100th time in this good 2023? Because I swear they be talking about it every single month or week. And I saw a couple blogs, run off of the story. Nene says that she would come back only for the fans. Nene's return to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm just like, Nene is never, ever, ever, in my Taylor Swift voice, never, ever going back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, in my opinion. Just because the bridge has been burned. But I didn't even answer my own question. Who I think is more pressed between the 2 of them to get back on Bravo? Yeah, I had to say Carlos. I had to say Carlos because he always talking about what the people doing over there. And, like, honestly, if it was a network I used to work for, I would be paying them dust. I wouldn't be even saying nothing about him, honestly. But yeah, I don't think Nene's ever coming back. But Nene said that if she would come back, she would do it for the fans because that's what they want, and they're the ones who want to see her in that position. So y'all got any thoughts on the comment about her saying she would go back for the fans? I mean, it's quite interesting knowing that she got into a whole lawsuit thing.
Stop it. You need money.
There we go. It's more than the fans. It's the chick.
And you don't like the fact that you're losing relevancy. The more you stay out of the public eye, the more relevancy you lose. That's why before she got on College Hill and all of that, y'all saw she used to come out every damn month. She popped out somewhere online, acting like somebody cared. I'm just saying, like, just talking about Bravo and talking about Real Housewives and how the show not as good without her and all of this type of shit. And it's like, girl, the show wasn't that good with you on it. Once you decided that you were above it, it was no longer good with you on it. Like, just to be clear, it's the same thing with Kim Zolciak. Like, as soon as she felt like she was above doing that show, then girl, it's not entertaining no more. We don't care. Goodbye. If you're better than this, fly above all your haters, bitch. Bye-bye.
I can't.
She said, I ain't gonna be tardy for the party. I'm gonna miss the whole damn thing.
She's still mad at Candy about that shit. And it's like, but the problem,
she gotta get over that.
She never follows through with anything. To me, anything that was like not easily handed to her, she had a hard time with. Like, if it wasn't as beneficial. So the only time I felt like she stretched for something was when she was doing Broadway, was when she was trying to get on television. That was the only time she was willing to go above and beyond for something besides the reality TV thing. But when it came to the song and all of that, you was just playing. You wasn't serious about it. Your girl, the white girl over there, peaked, okay? Because she recognized, oh, it's good to have Candy in my back pocket. And if I do this price to it, it'll forever be selling because of Bravo and because of Real Housewives. She was being smart. You, on the other hand, wanted to act like you was above everything. You was above Candy, so you couldn't be nice to her, right?
I don't even think Kim
just
thought that far.
learn.
I think she just got lucky.
Possibly. She had the right complexion for protection.
Okay, that's exactly
which is why she had her own show.
No, that's why she had that show, because there's no other reason. But she was not entertaining.
Who watched that?
I didn't.
And it stayed on for so long. I was like, that shit's still on? Y'all still watching her and them kids run around the house?
Nene don't be learning her lesson. Like, I feel like Nene could have left Real Housewives previously. Don't quote me, or thought about it when she was doing Glee and all those shows, cashing Trump checks and stuff. Only for her to have to stay on the show because some of her stuff got canceled. Now here we are. Instead of you thinking about that, you're back to thinking you're cashing Trump checks and you're bigger than the show. And then now you done got asked out. Like,
did you see that clip of her and Claudia when she was talking about her money, and Claudia was like, "Oh, you mean on the shows that's canceled?" And Nene was like, "The shows are canceled, but the checks aren't. The checks aren't." So
I mean, she had a little point, but how big are the checks though? I feel like residuals dwindle down over time.
I'm mad they let Claudia go. I low-key feel like they let Claudia go because Nene probably like bitched a fit and was like, she's gotta go.
Well, allegedly, and I seen a clip. I don't know why I saw a clip of Carlos interviewing Claudia, and he said that Nene came up to him after and was like, y'all chose the right bitch. She should have been a housewife instead of somebody else. I think it might have been Demetria that season. The singer Demetria McKinley or somebody.
Yeah,
and she was just a friend.
She was a friend.
So who was the housewife?
She could have been talking about Portia. Was her and Portia beefing at that time?
No,
that was cool.
Portia was mean girl, giggling and everything that fucking season. I was like, oh, bitch, I really don't like you this season. Like that season with Portia, because she was such a fucking follower. She was such a follower. But Claudia was the peach holder. Claudia had a peach. She was the only new peach holder.
Did she have a peach?
I don't remember she was just a friend. I thought
she was just a friend. She never had a peach.
No, go look back. After that first time, they gave her a peach. She had a intro. She was like, something, but I'm here to stay. Because I remember I just finished watching season 7, y'all. Go see it. She is a peach holder in season 7.
She was only on
one season.
Well,
why would Nene say that she should have had a peach?
Right. She said y'all chose the wrong one. She should. Are they saying she did?
Nah. She definitely on this promo. I'm gonna send it to you, Necey.
So what was they talking about? What was they talking about in the interview? I'm so confused.
I don't know, but they should have brought her back. They didn't bring her back the second season, and they should have
Yeah,
brought
I
her.
see her in the promo, but where's the peach?
In her hand.
Oh, the one you just sent me?
Yeah, the one I'm trying. Yeah, the one I'm about to send now.
Okay, because I'm looking at a different one.
I remember the intro because I was like, "You ain't here to stay. I wish you had been, but you wasn't." Because they say, "And I'm here to stay." Hate me because something. But
Now, this is a photo here.
Yeah. They say in the intro. She was in the intro. They made her a peach holder. Oh, in the middle of filming.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that because sometimes they'll do that.
Here we go. Demetria. Okay. Hey, Scotty. 2 comments.
What's up, Scotty?
Same thing. They switched Claudia and Demetria in the middle of filming. That makes sense.
Because Demetria kept talking about Roger Bob.
She played herself with that.
She did.
Because she really played herself. I'm like, girl, you really gonna you not seeing the opportunity here. Fuck that dude. This is not about him.
Hi, my name is Demetria. And
hit the tremble.
I'm dating Roger Bob. Girls.
For the past 8 years, on and off. 8
Girl, when I think it was Geisha told her she dated him too about 8 months ago, baby.
Cracks.
When? On the front end or the back end? On the front end?
Not last November, but the November before that one. I was like,
Barry.
She was so upset. And I was like, girl, why are you playing yourself like this? Don't play yourself like this.
Not for Roger Bob.
He was, girl, ain't nothing to
And I looked her up because I wanted to know if she was still with Roger Bob, and I ain't see no man on her page.
She is not. I found her. She is not.
Is she dating?
I don't think
I can't even tell.
She posted. She probably date in private, but don't post anything.
For sure.
Okay, so let's move into the next topic. We're gonna do a quick little one slide fashion. Let's get into it. Okay, so our quick one slide of fashion that we're going to talk about is Trina at the Essence Fest. I want y'all to see the dress in motion. So let me play this real quick just so you can see it. And y'all let me know what y'all think about the fashions on a scale of classroom grades, A through F, okay? Pluses and minuses are welcome. But let me go ahead and play the video. I took off the audio since, I didn't want them to flag the music. But yeah, I want y'all to look at the boots in motion. Look at the fringe, the dress. She got to fix it just a little bit. And I feel like this ain't the first time that we've seen Trina Teen not really do her right. And mind you, it ain't got nothing to do with the body. It has everything to do with the fashions. You got to dress. You can't let the dress wear you. I think that's what's going on.
Your body. Bitch, you got to dress for your body. I'm not going to lie. Like everybody else trying to do. Listen, I don't see nothing wrong with being big or bigger or gaining weight. But what you don't do is keep wearing the clothes you was wearing when you was smaller. Because that's what she doing. That's why her little bitty titties not staying in that dress, because her stomach is creating so much space that it didn't used to, create that space. So now I used to be able to cling to the titties. Now I can't cling to the titties because you got all this stomach stretching it out. And that's okay. But get you a new dress or a new fit or a new style. Like, we only come to see you with your ass, girl. It's the ass. That's the legs and the ass. That's what we really care about. You ain't got to show us none of this midsection. You ain't got to show us no titties, nothing. You ain't never been a titty girl. It's always been, whoop, pull over that ass too fast. So I think that she needs to remind herself of what looks good on her body and return back to the days of focusing on the cheeks and you know, girl, put it away. Put it
I
down.
don't think it's her stomach that's causing her titties to pop out. I think it's the fact that they didn't put on no damn dress tape. Like, I don't think, honestly, y'all, I don't think she has a stylist, to be all the way real, because I feel like any good stylist would have gave her breast cups and dress tape, and even if she decided to wear that dress.
I think that it's pulling down where it's pulling down because her stomach is taking up more space in that dress than it was supposed to. She probably, that's not new. She probably had that already. Like, I'm telling y'all, you could tell because when she bent over, that's when they came out. If it was flattened in that area a little bit more, her chest probably wouldn't have came out like that, because it is tight on her chest. But you could tell, you know, and listen, we know women's bodies change, y'all. This is not no hate on Trina. Trina is a beautiful woman. She always has been. But ain't nothing wrong with changing up your wardrobe when your body starts to change, is all I'm saying. And I feel like she's always been cheap to me with the way her team is. We've seen it on Love and Hip Hop Miami. It seemed like you've been, you know, lackadaisically paying the same people who not doing what they supposed to be doing by you, which is why it's always an issue with, you know, your showmanship and your style. It's always an issue with your showmanship and your style. And I just, you know, I want my good sis to do better. That way she ain't got to worry about her titties coming out, or people wondering if she's pregnant.
I'm just saying what my thoughts, the way that I wish Darius would have sat with his before he spoke out on Keke. But
I was like, who is Darius? You talking about the baby daddy?
I do this.
But I have to say, Trina, no ma'am. No ma'am. I can do not pass go straight to jail. It has nothing to do with body shame at all. It's me being ashamed of the fact that y'all did not properly dress this woman, because in all honesty, I really did see this lady titty pop out. Like, I really, and she was over there performing with her eyes closed, and it's like, no, you need to keep your eyes open if you're going to be wearing this. And then it's just uncomfortable when you're trying to perform and you keep tugging on your clothing. So it's giving, you knew you should not have worn that before you went out there. And I really cringed because of the whole BET thing. A lot of people thought that you were pregnant and stuff. And I didn't want to be that person, because I know that you've had the same size since last year. So I knew that you weren't pregnant, but still, like, you do got to dress your size. And I do understand what Bondi was saying, because it was giving pull it all the way down. Like, that's what the it did seem like the stomach was kind of doing with the dress. It was giving that just a little bit. But I also agree with Necey. Had you put tape on there, baby, it would not have pulled it all the way down so much to a point where your boob would not have popped out and flashed the people down their essence. And I mean, you know, I love Trina. Nice woman, beautiful woman. She's very curvy. And I just, you know,
We love you, Trina. This is coming from.
would have just
We just want you to know
It's
that.
we want better for
dressed a
you.
little, you know.
Get surgery. We don't want you to do nothing crazy to
Yeah,
you.
don't do none of that.
We were rooting for you.
Every time, without fail, bitch. Okay? We just want better for you, Trina.
Because when I saw Megan walk out, I was like, this is what I think Trina was supposed to go for. Because I think Megan was covered all up top. I think it was Megan that came out. They had on like the gold and stuff. I said, I think this could have been what she wanted to go for, but it didn't really work that way.
And the gold has to match. This gold is too pale. You know what I'm saying? Meg's gold was more like a brown or orange, you know, more of a warm tone. I don't even like the way it's given like white lady stockings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not to match her skin tone exactly.
Right, that's how I feel. That's why I feel like she ain't have no real stylist, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, that lady
Could
dressed
not
herself.
Yeah, the stockings don't match. We need your stockings to match your skin tone, black ladies. Okay, it's not the 80s. There are stockings for the black ladies these days. Please find them. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Could not have. Okay. Next, y'all, you said that. Well, you mentioned Meg, so let's transition on over to, let's keep it going with Essence Fest. India Arie, she slams Meg Thee Stallion and Janelle Monáe for twerking on stage, and I guess showing a titty cover with fans during the Essence Fest. It shows lack of discretion and discernment. So let me go ahead and read this comment. The comment says, the issue is what is context? Emphasis. Humanity does everything, but does everything belong in a stage? No. Is everything for kids? No. Is everything for everybody? No. So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows lack of discretion and discernment. To those in the comments who laugh at anyone who wants these things for our culture, you certainly have that right. Hold on. I just lost my line. Okay. Just as many folks have the right to want our mainstream international export out music to show us in a respectful light. I'd like to go on the record saying this won't age well, and that's my issue. I love Janelle and Meg the way I love us all, and I don't like this moment. Don't bother debating me, LOL. I don't care, and I do this. For 25 years, I've done this. So read, ponder, or don't. Thoughts on India saying that? I mean, basically, she's just saying it's a place. She's saying it's a place and a time to sum all that up. She says she loves Janelle, she loves Meg, but she believes it's a place and a time because she doesn't feel like this should be mainstream in our culture for everybody. So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Some of my thoughts are this. I mean, I do feel like it was definitely giving what the people came for, which was get to the O. When she brought the first set up, I ain't expect her to bring up another set. I'm like, Megan, just do your show. You gotta bring no folks on there. They'll be all right. But at the same time, I feel like that shouldn't be your issue. Your issue should be taken up with Essence Fest. In all honesty, I just feel like they knew what they was booking when they booked her. So she did her job. If it was anything that they may not have wanted her to do, I feel like they could have let her know that in her contract or whatever. Let's not do this. Let's not do that or whatever. So I just, and I also think people have to accept that people just do shit differently. Like Megan is a different type of performer. Janelle Monáe is clearly turning into a different type of performer. They don't do what you do, and that's okay. Like I don't understand the major issue here.
Whenever you say the third set, are you referring to the twerk contest? Basically?
Yeah, it was like a second set of girls or something that she had called back up there.
Yeah.
She didn't.
And I was like, the first set was fine. Let's keep going. What's the next part?
But I think because I was there. Okay, so I think because we had to wait so long for her to come out, she really was trying to like engage the crowd and bringing people on stage. I feel like she thinks engage the crowd, which it did. The ones who was running up, because girl, when I tell y'all the girls was running up, when I tell you we saw a girl pass us and maybe 10 seconds later saw her ass on that screen and couldn't figure out how she got up there so fast. So I do think for the girls that were there to see her, that's what they came there for, because she does that in all of her shows. I recently just saw her Amazon Prime live show that she did on there, and she did the exact same thing, calling the hotties on stage so that they can twerk. That's what they do. It also, I would like to tell everybody, if your kid was at Essence Fest by the time Megan came on stage, somebody need to call CPS on you, because it was like midnight past. It was past midnight by the time Meg finally came on. We didn't leave the Superdome until I want to say about 1:20 around that time, and her set was over and everybody walked out. So I say all that to say Essence started at 7 o'clock. If you had your damn kid at Essence Fest from 7 to 1 o'clock in the morning, something is wrong with you. Because your child shouldn't have been there. First the fuck all, India Arie. Second of all, everybody does not perform their femininity and their womanhood in the same manner. I personally see nothing wrong with women twerking. I don't know why it upsets everybody so much. It is simply a body movement. It is a dance. It is not that fucking deep. These niggas would want you if you was shaking ass or not. I don't know why it upsets everybody so much. I think it has something to do with the way white people have co-opted y'all minds with respectability politics. India Arie, I would love for you to read the listing of artists that's going to be at the show before you sit on the first row. Because Lil Wayne said that first row of people wasn't really feeling his set either. And it was hip hop. It wasn't going to be White Linen Night where Frankie Beverly closes out like he had done in the past. That's not what it was. It was a hip hop centered show. And
that's what I heard. A lot of people, like a lot of the older people, were really upset because the show wasn't like this season's or this year's Essence Fest wasn't given what it was in previous years. They couldn't relate to a lot of the artists that came out.
read the headline. We knew Meg was gonna be the closing show. So if you wanted to see the Afro beats, Wiz Kid gave you a lot of time to leave because he was up there for too damn long. My only problem was I don't want to pay all of that money for floor seats and be sitting so close to somebody that their weave is touching my fucking arm all night and I can't even move my chair over because y'all got these chairs locked together and shit. Okay. Another thing I feel like is I am tired of somebody outside of a person defining what is respect for them. They knew what Megan's show looked like. They paid her to be herself. If you don't want to shake ass, that's up to you. But you feeling like you can define how someone respects themselves simply because they are not ashamed of their body is a problem for me. Huge problem.
I agree 100% with that. And I think to her point where she says everything ain't for everybody, it's just that everything ain't for everybody. Like that show wasn't for you.
Right.
So I mean, she said she loved them, but I also don't see.
Let me say this right quick, because you don't say nothing when it's your peers out there doing it, because Erica's ass is out almost every show nowadays and nobody's mad about it. Okay. Another thing, Jill Scott, as much as Jill Scott will get up there and do, her beautiful rendition of, what you call them, the national anthem. She redid the national anthem. Y'all, it gave me chills. It was beautiful. She will still get on stage and do exactly what Lotto did, which is pretend to give head with a microphone. Because at the end of the day, every woman gets to perform and experience her sexuality however she sees fit. And if you don't want to do that, that's on you. But it's so funny how you come for the young girls. But I ain't heard you say shit when Jill was out there doing the same mic stroke that Lotto was doing.
Yeah, that has to do with the police ability. Like, back to the white folks, like what you said. Why do y'all feel like y'all need to police what other black people do? Yeah, I can go on a tangent about that because low key is giving the same vibes as black people telling other black people where they can wear bonnets or not. But okay.
Ooh, read me down. Read me down. You know how I feel.
That's the I forgot, Bonnie. I forgot.
No,
but that is.
I ain't gonna get online and judge y'all that bad for it. And I ain't gonna lie. I do wish some of the girls would look better at the airport. But do I care about how y'all look at Walmart? No, baby. I don't really care. I expect.
What about Target?
At Target, honestly, I'm so busy getting what the fuck I'm trying to get. I don't care how you look. Honestly, would I do it? No. But do I care when, no, I feel like a lot of times it depends on the woman, because the bonnet usually comes along with a lot of other shit. Talking loud on a speakerphone, on the phone with somebody, yelling at your kids all loud, also having your house shoes on, which is like nasty to me to be walking around in like furry house slippers all over the cement in the floor in public places, like shit like that. But still, my opinion, I ain't about to, come under your comments and tell you ain't shit about it. You don't respect yourself. It ain't that deep. It ain't.
Okay.
The older I get, the less I give a fuck about what other people do. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah, and you should. Ain't nobody trying to carry that stress.
Right.
All right, y'all. It is about time to talk about y'all's. Why do I always have to pause before I say that? Y'all, this is so. I hate that this is happening. I always have to say it's time to talk about y'all's favorite TV shows. But when the TV shows don't be hitting like that, I be like, can I say that? Can I say that? Let's talk about the damn.
Look, I said we got a new name for this because it's only on shows, right?
Yeah.
We MTV.
We don't skip that. Do y'all want to talk about that? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown of the last episode of Love and Hip Hop, and then we can just go at it. So basically, somebody texted me about. Okay. Anyway, so basically, a couple things happened. Carly Red ended up buying a house next door to Spice, and Rashida come over like, "What's going on?" That happened. Mm-hmm. Erica Banks, she meet up with Erica Mena and tells her that allegedly Diamond is pregnant. Next, we get Sierra and Eric is mad that he getting left with a $10,000 mortgage to pay by himself since Sierra say she leaving. We see Jessica and Safari is clearly choosing, and Jessica is open. I'm not surprised. And then lastly, we get to the gender reveal. Jamie, you said. Lastly, we get to the gender reveal for Jasmine. So I don't know where y'all want to hit it off at first. Let's talk about Carly Red in the house and her relationship with what's the lady name? Mita. Yes.
Carly trying to take Spice's life. That's what it's giving. It's just awkward energy when it comes to Spice. I know some people they defending Carly and stuff, but it's just I'm just off about Carly and just how she moving and you being so secretive. Like if my friend, if we had a conversation and I didn't want you to move next door and you probably gave me your word and then you go behind my back and you close that house next door.
That's weird.
And then you pop up at my house, not acknowledging the fact that you did what I didn't want you to do, but trying to push your daughter off on me, talking about she's pregnant. I'm gonna need you to watch her. Like you didn't even ask. She's pregnant. She's gonna be home alone, so I'm gonna need you to watch her. Like Carly's behavior is very awkward, and she hasn't done this with nobody else. So I don't know what this thing is she got with Spice, but it's giving single white female.
Do y'all think she really built the house, or you think she renting it? And shit.
Well, I think there was a house. I think there was a house that was being built, and then I guess it fell through. So then she just chose to go ahead and purchase the house next door. So I that's what I think. But ultimately,
it's a Tubi movie.
Shit.
It's a Tubi movie. I'm not even gonna give them no real attention. It's a motherfucking Tubi movie. Stuff don't get real on this show until we start centering ourselves on the relationships between the men and the women, girl. All of this mess amongst the people. I'm looking at Carly like she's just trying to get a role on the next stepmother movie on Tubi, girl. Like she's just trying to get her another role. It's not real. Spice, I feel like you playing along like you always do. Because I honestly feel like Spice showed herself to be fake and phony like a while back to me. I can't even remember what happened, but Spice, you fake and phony too. The fact that you was friends with two fake ass phony people for so long lets me know that you're fake and phony too. And now because they weren't centering you and what they were doing, you got mad. And I really feel like looking at you like, girl, grow up. Because it really do feel like you mad because Mita and Carly wasn't censoring their lives on you. At the end of the day, you the grown-ass woman that slams her body against the ground for a living that decided to go and get fucking surgery you ain't need. So I understand it was a life-changing situation for you, but you put yourself in that situation and then you expect everybody to come and sit by your bedside as if you didn't make that decision on your own. That wasn't no sickness that, that happened out of nowhere. So Miss Me was looking for everybody to be, oh, Spice, 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 Spice. Like, that's what you wanted. Because Mita was following behind your ass and Carly was doing the same thing. And now they using asses and got what they needed out of you. They didn't went on about their business. And now you mad. But yeah, no, I'm looking at Spice and Carly like, girl, it's fake. Y'all both fake. And it's a Tubi movie and I ain't feeling it.
Okay, we kind of talked about Diamond telling Mama D that she was pregnant already, but we really didn't see much of them this episode. I want to know what y'all thought about Jessica and Safari meeting up for the first time. And so just to recap, they meet up at the baby shower. Was they at the baby shower? And not the gender reveal. And Jessica was the first one there. Safari ended up coming early. They the first two there. And he's like, oh, I need to find a woman like you, who's your ex. And she ends up talking about who her ex is. She shows her a picture and he says, oh, Nick Cannon, that's my boy. And she's like, everybody loves Nick. Nick's an icon, blah, 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 blah. And he like, okay, so if you was with Nick for 8 years, how come I never heard of you? And she was like, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Damn.
But what I thought was interesting was whenever she was telling him what type of women he needed, because she's from a poly relationship, I felt like she was saying all the words. It was giving pick me. Just like in the language that she used. Number one, she said women. because she comes from a poly lifestyle, but you can't assume that he also from a poly lifestyle, but you know that men who are dogs love that you down with the thought of that.
Yeah.
So that's why you approach that to him, number one. Number two, she said to him, I'll be your friend or something like that. I'm not going to judge him, because Bambi was like, oh, you talking to him? And she's like, I'm not going to judge him without knowing him. So I feel like she want to fuck.
I see that too. I feel like she's looking for a replacement for Nick Cannon.
I left out number two. Number two was, he said, what made you so open to the poly lifestyle? She said, I'm submissive. She used that word.
Yeah.
She's trying to replace Nick. Get her a piece of Safari. She gonna have to be careful because Erica gonna go crazy.
She's the real Bambi to me. Like, doe-eyed Bambi, blind ass. I'm sorry. Like, even when she was talking about being a singer and she was like, are they going to give me the opportunity to prove myself? I was like, girl, shut the fuck up. Either make the music or don't make the music. You a model. The line that comes to mind, the people highest up got the lowest self-esteem. What Kanye said, the most beautiful people do the ugliest things or whatever. At her like, bitch, you ain't learned nothing from that relationship with Nick, have you? You ain't learned nothing. First of all, Safari was already playing with your head when he told you he didn't know who you was. He know who the you are.
Exactly.
He is. We know who you are. Like, that was disrespectful off rip for him to act like he didn't know who she was. Nigga, you on social media because you be following all the blogs and knowing what's going on just like everybody else. That's how you know when your ass on there. So I think that he did that intentionally to make her think he didn't know who she was, to kind of take her down a few pegs off rip, right? So he already setting it up for the kill.
Absolutely.
With I can be your friend, I can be that for you. It's like, girl, like, where is your inner bitch solidarity? You ain't seeing him online acting a fool. That's enough for you not to want to be friends with a man whose eyes bugged out. As soon as you said that you was willing to be in a one-sided poly relationship because you're just so submissive, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Sure.
I have to call it how I see it, because you just told us how Nick Cannon played you the out, totally disrespected you, had babies on you, didn't tell you all of that shit. And now you telling us that you want to enter in the same type of relationship with somebody like Safari that we didn't already seen act a fool. You are dumb. And I hate when y'all call women dumb, because what else are we supposed to say to somebody that see all of that evidence and still choose to make yourself open and available for somebody? Girl, what?
We say that they are like Ariane.
Or like Portia, depending on the situation.
Possibly.
Necey, I'm so glad you said that, because I have been wanting to like really dig into that with you, because I know you be on that shit in the psychology. I'm trying to figure out what goes on in Portia and Simon's household for real, because you know the shit they put online is fake. So I want to know what's going on for real in their household, because I feel like they're both narcissists. So she's, you know, like, she's as much of a narcissist as women can be a lot of the times, which usually is kind of added to some dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, their narcissism comes from them being accepted by some dude. It's always pick me ass energy. We know Portia's a pick me. She's been pick me ever since she was, oh my God, Nene, it's not the same with them.
No, I was thinking when she was bringing a football player on that season, he wasn't really
baby
playing. That was the ultimate.
For sure.
Pick me, please. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I can't go to the strip club. Cordell doesn't like that. All that.
And then, to me, to go from one extreme to another without finding any balance in between, let me know that you ain't right up. Y'all know I read some of her books. She not right up here. She don't be computing shit when she should. So that's why I'm like, I really wonder like what be going on in that house, because they fake the funk very well for social media. Baby.
No, low key shit. They got me liking pictures. I be double tapping the shit.
Not you over there double tapping.
Oh, I be double tapping. She look good.
She look good as fuck.
I will give her that. I don't follow her, but I give her that.
They look happy in the pictures. Like, initially, I was like, I ain't liking shit. But now I be like, that's cute. That's your man. You gonna stick beside him. Shit, might as well.
He got a little boob under the eyes. He looks a little younger, looking like Dennis' uncle instead of Dennis' daddy. You know,
girl, it's giving Photoshop.
No, I
Heavy
think he
on
really
that.
did get the facelift. And now, though, I think he
It's
did.
possible. It's very. He got enough money to do so.
Because you know she has to be like, come on, you got to step it up so that you can look a little bit more like you're supposed to be with me.
But Fallon didn't do that interview to tell us a lot of Simon's ways for me to not believe that they ain't got no issues over there. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And you know how Portia is. Portia always portrays stuff up to be
Yep.
what it ain't. So,
She gonna push through, especially
oh God.
knowing that people was against her in this situation.
If that show didn't expose her ass the way it did, she would have painted a whole different view of herself on that
Her
show.
own show, Portia
Yeah.
Family Mess.
And another thing, girl, how Dennis trying to fight Maurice Scott. Girl, I was like, nigga, you cheated on Portia when she was pregnant. That's the same thing as threatening to cheat on a bitch who got cancer. Basically, it's the same thing.
Not don't find for cancer benefit.
Mm-mm.
Respectful to me, because I feel like it's a way for y'all to make yourselves look like good people off the backs of those women that y'all have totally disrespected and disregarded. It's hilarious to me. All the niggas
Extremely.
those.
I'm gonna pull up the graphic. We can talk about that whenever we talk about Maurice. Okay. Y'all got any other thoughts on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
Not that I can think of.
I think that was pretty much. Oh, I did notice that Jock and Kendra are not on there this season, but they're on the relationships centered shows. I said, Jock, good decision. That was
Well, why did they open up the doggone show with the doggone celebration of the cover? I'm thinking they're gonna be on the show. Remember when the show first came on? Yeah, that was they're rolling out or something.
But she
magazine cover.
They're not in the intro, and we haven't seen them since. Maybe it was just we just going to a Jock event. You know how Jock is. He liked to stay close to the cast, but I think he felt it was time to pull away from having a full storyline on the show for Kendra's sake, because they've been eating Kendra's ass up since last season.
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at you.
I love that I'm also not seeing Yandy that much either, because whatever they try to do and center the show around her.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Flop. How you gonna move down here from New York and think that you're supposed to just cover all? Like, girl, no ma'am.
I told you
definitely flop.
I forgot all about that. Damn, we did review that last. It's been a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we was talking about it, we was talking about the stepdaughter that she was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's been a long ass time.
It has. It has. That's all we got for Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, cool. It's time to move on to the newest show, which is Love and Marriage Detroit. We got 3 couples. Yeah.
And I know we only on episode 2. And I know I need to catch up. But what would y'all rate this show thus far between 1 and 10?
Oh my gosh. Jamie, that's a hard. What'd you say, Bondi?
6. Because it's not that good, but it's so problematic.
Yes,
it's good because it's so problematic.
Gives you things to talk about.
All 3 of the men are a problem. Every single one of them, and you can't convince me anything different.
I just don't know if I can't even say it's a good show. I feel like it got the recipe to have people hooked. Like literally, I have to be ready to consume some mess, because I feel like at least with Love and Marriage Huntsville, I didn't feel like so much like masculine toxicity was being thrown at me every 10 seconds. Maybe like once an episode. On this show, I feel like they're taking a fucking Nerf gun and spewing terms at trying to see who can say the most triggering stuff for the people watching the show. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it.
Carlos told him, do whatever you want to say, whatever you get off your mind. People want to know what the black men are thinking. They want to know. So you got to tell them. You know, I'm sure he's all in their ear, bigging them up so they can embarrass themselves and their wives for his benefit.
I'm going to say the names of the couples from left to right. So first in this red dress, we have Dr. Thompson. They always call her Dr. Thompson. This is the first time I'm seeing on the cast photo that her name is Latoya. Her name is Latoya and her husband's name is Anthony. And then in the middle, we have the Smiths, which are Brandon and Christina. And he is basically the one who's starting all the fuckboy shit. Like he's going to start it off. And then lastly, we have the Harrises. Russell. Russell is the guy, and then Colby is the girl in the yellow dress. So yeah, pretty much what we've seen so far is Brandon in the middle. He has like a talent company, which I didn't know people still had like discover talent agencies since like the 90s or early 2000s. I did not
Like
know people
Kirk?
still. I guess. Is that what Kirk does? He discovers artists.
Used to.
Yeah, he used to do that, but this
Oh, is that how he got Rashida?
that is exactly how he got
Yeah.
and Brad. But I think this guy is more like your fake baby face type. It's giving Peter Guns. That's who the first people I thought about was when Peter Guns and Amina used to be in the studio together playing instruments and shit. You know, that's what I thought about.
But the name of his agency is just so it's like Star something, Star Search. It's something just very, I don't know. So anyway, that's recipe for disaster right there. Your husband
Literally in my head.
business.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Recipe for
works
disaster.
in the music business, and then the wife, her name is Christina. She's an influencer. Christine's an influencer and Kobe's an influencer. And I'm just like, okay, so everybody up here is influencers. Like, come on. Anyway, they're influencers. And she's kind of giving a little bit of Tisha. But Tisha and Mel combined. Like, you and your husband come on the show and y'all talk about y'all's issues. He signed an artist without her knowing. And she was mad about it because he has a history of cheating. And then on the flip side, he be working hard for the family. He don't ever want to answer the phone, say where he at because he's working hard like Maurice. So that's pretty much what we've seen so far. Colby in the yellow dress ends up exposing at Christina and Brandon's 11-year anniversary party that Brandon signed an artist without Christina knowing. So Christina like blows up. She crying, oh, you should have told me this. And then they end up kissing and dancing at the end of the night. So anyway,
What's the tea on the red couple? On the couple in the red?
Nothing yet, but I needed to give you the tea on Russell and Colby first.
Okay.
After you give them the tea on Russell and Kobe, I'll give you tea on them.
Yes. Okay. So Russell and Colby is the one who showed up to the 11-year anniversary party and was like, oh, you're not going to tell your wife you signed a new artist. Colby doubled down. She kept like asking questions, prying, even after the fact that she found out that Christina didn't know. So her husband, Russell, is embarrassed because now it looked like he pillow talking with his wife, Big Lou, right? So they go back to the house after the situation is over, and he's basically like, you shouldn't have told these people, or you shouldn't have been all up in them people's household. So he kind of upset with her because she was all up in their business. And then he uses that opportunity to tell her that he wants to be a pastor, even though she grew up as a PK and she don't want to live that lifestyle. So that's pretty much what has been going on. Bonnie, I'm gonna let you talk about the other couple.
So Anthony, because I keep confusing them too. Anthony and Dr. Latoya, it's giving, because he works for Live Nation, but essentially at some point during the pandemic, she's a doctor, she's working at the hospital, their children are in homeschool, and he decides he's going to move to Atlanta. I think at first it was supposed to be a job where he went out there and came back, and then after a while she started noticing that he was consistently going back and staying longer, and probably, so she was like, hey, if you don't come back, we're going to get a divorce. So he came back. Now he resents her for that. So now he got his men's empowerment group, the He-Man woman haters, where he projects the fact that he feels resentment towards his wife for making his ass come back. He projects that onto Christina and Brandon's relationship. He's arguing with Christina about how she's holding Brandon back for something. However, he did not know that Brandon cheated, and Brandon did not tell him. He told Russell, but he didn't tell dude over here. And to me, Brandon knows that Anthony is secretly in love with him. He also knows that he's a contact at Live Nation.
No, I was thinking the same thing, Bonnie.
Yeah. So you know that his affection for you is a way for you to get what you need out of him. It's the same thing you do with women. You're doing with this, I think, closeted gay man. And and listen, I'm not saying it in a disrespectful, like, oh, I'm trying to out you way. I think there are a lot of Black men that just can't see themselves clearly. But to me, the way he goes after Christina every single scene behind Brandon, even after finding out that Brandon was cheating, even after finding out that Brandon was texting the girl he was cheating with. First of all, the girl that Brandon was cheating with, his wife was also doing her brand development.
Yes.
He asked his wife to do her brand development and then cheats with the girl, texts the girl, says he can't stand his wife, he hates her.
Let me add, can't you tell
Ooh,
that
yeah.
Brandon and Christina collectively decided to come on the show and call it emotional cheating?
Oh yeah, they did. They lying too, because
They lying.
that's not the type of man that can actually have an emotional connection with a woman. Because
Exactly.
if he did, he would have been able to baby talk you into feeling comfortable when you called in the studio. The fact that he could not like talk to you to make you feel comfortable, let me know he can't even Stevie J you. Stevie J ain't never got upset when them girls come in the studio. He just like, you know what it is, baby. Like he keep the tempo no matter what. Y'all seen Stevie J. He can get caught up anytime. Stevie J gonna keep that tempo right at the same spot because he love that shit. He eat it up. He like to see y'all get all upset over him. So he ain't really mad about it, but he like to act like that because he don't want you to be impeding on his situation. So when this one got mad, that let me know you already fucking that girl and you feel guilty. And
Oh my.
that's why he was mad she called, because you didn't want to have to explain yourself. You wasn't ready to explain yourself, and the girl was in the studio. So now you mad at your wife because she called you looking for validation that you're not ready to give her. But if you was really that gift the gab type nigga that you pretending to be, you would have been able to gab her up, and he didn't. So to me, you phony with it. Like the ponytail, the light skin, being a producer makes you feel like you're cuter than you really are.
Ooh. I think the way y'all explain this makes the show sound much more juicier than what it really is.
Mhm.
I did see the first episode,
Well,
but I haven't seen the second one yet.
That's why the second episode is where it picks up.
Yes.
Now I did see a clip of the two on the end, the yellow dress, and what's her man name?
Kobe and Russell.
Kobe and Russell. I think Russell was fucked up to sit up there and pillow talk about somebody else's business, but not give your wife a heads up about what the fuck you trying to do. You can
They
talk
won't
about somebody
communicate.
else stuff, but you don't want to tell her that your ass trying to open up a gym.
And
You didn't want to tell her you
was
want
he
to be a
trying to
pastor.
open up a gym?
That's
Oh,
what he
gym
said.
and pastor. I forgot
Yeah.
about the gym.
But look, peep how when LaToya and Anthony was having a conversation about it was really Brandon's fault. It wasn't Russell's fault. It wasn't Kobe's fault, because Brandon should have talked to his wife before he told anybody that shit. That's what LaToya. This nigga was ready. He was like, it's not Kobe's fault. It's Russell's fault. And I'm like, why are you blaming Russell? You a he-man woman hater. And it's because you are trying,
Protect Brandon.
Yeah, you like Brandon. So anybody is low-key competition for you, which is why you was ready to be like, oh, Russell, you need to shut up. Russell, like I was like, not you going in on Russell, he-man woman hater. Like you saying Kobe, and then LaToya was like, you can't see that it's Brandon's fault, and he was like, So to me, all of that is hard for you to see that your partner is the one at fault. You always fighting with his wife to the point.
Well, females in general, the way he did at that wine tasting event.
That's what I'm about to say. She brings her homegirl from home to this wine tasting that they're having. And he is going in once again on Christina for holding Brandon back from going to a club. Okay. Now, he didn't see that the nigga lied for no reason. He don't even understand why he lying for no reason. But still, he's on his side. So he's sitting there arguing, don't let her hold you back, bruh. Don't let her hold you back. And so the homegirl is like, hold up, like no disrespect. It's a nice vibe. I appreciate everything y'all got going on here. But why are you so invested in their situation? That's he thought somebody saw his slip showing. So he immediately pops off on her.
Okay.
She a little girl. Oh, you at a table with a bunch of bosses.
She a bird.
You a boss, Christina. You can't be bringing these birds around, because this obviously is a little girl. I mean, all she did was ask, why you so worried? And he went to bird. He went to little girl, instantly trying to degrade and, malign her. So anything she says won't be believed or taken with a grain of salt. That's why you call the little girl and a bird, because you're trying to make it seem like she dumb when really she, but everybody else sees, but are too afraid to say.
And his wife just sat there trying to pat
Anthony's
his hand.
wife?
Anthony's wife sat there.
I could see that. I get that vibe from her. She don't say a whole lot.
I would be embarrassed as fuck. Like, who would want to be with a man who argues with women in
all the
public?
time. Do
Like,
they have
just
daughters?
period.
They
I
have
don't
3 kids.
know.
I don't know if there are any daughters, but I know it's 3 kids, and they've been together for about 14 years. And
Oh.
she's a breadwinner, and it's very obvious.
This nigga said he had a nonprofit, and it's that man thing, and that was red flag for me. Y'all know I don't trust nobody with these little bitty nonprofits.
He got another one too. He another one that has a nonprofit.
He has one too. I couldn't remember.
Nonprofit. Now you want to do the gym and you want to do a church? Oh, you trying to get free tax
Right off.
and pussy? Because to me,
Right off.
shit is
Yeah, that's what it's giving. It's giving he not happy in his household so much that he's trying to find external things to do to fulfill himself. Because I feel like it's a disconnect between the both of them. I mean, of course, he got his own internal disconnect, but I think it's something going on with them so that he can have excuses to be out of the house more than he's in the house. Hello, Marcel, how are you?
the
But
first
yeah,
thing Christine said, how her daddy used to have to leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning to go and pray over somebody. And I'm just like, so y'all have
well,
seen.
he was praying.
And she said, "What?
With an
It's 3
E.
o'clock in the morning."
And look, the thing that really killed me about like the whole situation is the fact that I feel like Colby, she sees it. She like, don't do that manipulation with me, so she can see what's going on. And because she was a preacher's kid, honestly, I think it's a form of abuse for somebody to share with you. That traumatized by being the child of a preacher, and then you go behind their back and talk to their preacher daddy and get
Come
him
on.
and mentor you into being a preacher, and then you didn't even tell her about it. So to me, I feel like you're like muscling her into it by saying shit like, well, you know, I can't question what God's telling me to do. So now she can't question what God's telling you to do, and she absolutely should.
That's what she said. She was like, "I can't question it." Like, she knew that was, and he know that's where she not gonna continue to debate.
And that's what her daddy probably told him when he talked to her pa about it. And to me, like, that's so fucked up, because if that lady really laid, she said, I talked to him so much. And she was like, that's probably why he didn't want to tell me, because I would tell him all the time about how I never wanted that for myself. And I'm like, and that makes it even more nefarious to me that he would go behind your back with the very person that you felt traumatized by, your daddy, the preacher, and like, you know, get his mentorship. So now he gonna do the exact same thing to you that your daddy did to your mama and y'all as kids. Put y'all on the
And
back
what was crazy
of
was when he was talking in his confessional, well, when he talked to the wife, he said that, you know, Jesus told him he needed to be a preacher. Like, that's it. But when he came to his confessional, he said that God told him to spread the word. Spread the word, and being a preacher is like, you ain't gotta be a preacher just to spread the word. But you decide to do that knowing that that's something that your wife don't want you to do is just odd. So it's a lot of bullshit in this show. A lot. And I think I was just so overwhelmed because I watched the first 2 episodes back to back. And I'm just like, ooh, I don't know. Like Bondi said, oppressed women's network.
Yes, and they're gonna use Jesus to do it, girl. They're gonna use Jesus to do it. And let me tell you, I noticed another thing. Christina's a preacher's kid as well, which is why she's okay with being in this fucked up relationship with Brandon. Latoya is probably the only one that's not a preacher's kid, which is the reason why Anthony gotta pretend like he respects her more than he actually does, because he knows that she's where the bread is buttered. He don't want to fuck that up. He don't. He sees the benefit in being with Latoya. All these niggas see the benefit of being with the women that they with. That's why these specifically chose church women, because those church women are to go along with these things. And that's just the truth of it.
Church women who are influencers who somewhat rely on them. I mean, I know for now at some point, because I don't know how big of an influencer each of them are, but at some point, you know, they're going to need to rely on you, especially whenever you end up having babies with them and y'all have all these kids.
They whole social media thing, once they have babies and get married, is about being married and having fucking babies. So
that is so true.
Them even more so, because, and I've already told y'all, as somebody that's married, the way people listen to you more and respect you more because of the nigga you attached to, they definitely are going to feel the pressure of not letting these men go because of that. Because of what the respect that they get from other women and other people in the community, simply from having these men as husbands.
Y'all don't think Christina will grow out? outgrow this man. I could see Christina leaving and like,
I
let me
can't,
see her get on
especially
her mail and get the hell on.
nope.
You
I
don't.
can't see because I think she's more like Tisha than she is like Mel.
Oh,
Oh, she leaned more on that side.
Yeah.
Shit.
she's like actively lying on his behalf and acting like it's not what it is when she know like that girl. You know it was more than emotional. That nigga can't have no emotional connection to no bitch like without fucking her. Like you know
The
that.
way they clarified that for me was like, oh, this is what y'all agreed on when y'all came on the show.
Wow,
Y'all
that's
y'all
definitely it.
studied Huntsville and y'all said we're gonna give a little bit of this and give a little bit of that because we're gonna be in charge of our own storyline and we're gonna call it emotional cheating.
Mm-hmm. Carlos
Yeah,
Love
nah, he crossed all the way. He crossed all them lines.
Patty Shady
Mm-hmm.
for the super chat. Bondi hits us with the acronym for Yes, the Oppressed Women's Network. Shout out to Gwen, one of my members and my subscribers. Gwen, she coined that in one of our members only lives and was like, "Girl, it's the Oppressed Women's Network." I said, "You ain't never fucking lie. I'm about to steal that. It's the Oppressed Women's Network over there."
Mm.
No, that was right on time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if you have not watched Detroit, watch it at your own discretion. Make sure you in a healthy place because like just watching the show be draining as fuck. Like the 2 episodes was draining as fuck.
Mm.
Just to sit here and watch every single one of these women be disrespected in some way, it was draining as fuck. Like even the doctor Latoya, I felt like you was disrespected because your husband up here arguing with a female and you ain't doing nothing.
Oh yes.
I just
You could tell that she's so used to him embarrassing her. All she do is put her head down.
Yikes. I wonder
and the
if she's
fact,
seeing somebody else.
nah, she wouldn't be begging for him to come back from Atlanta.
Oh, that's what she was doing?
That's why he moved back.
Yeah, but they also got 3 kids. So nigga, come back and help raise these kids that you made. Like I don't know why you thought you was gonna be able to skate to Atlanta and leave me to come home after a long day at the damn hospital with 3 children. You crazy. Bring your ass back here. I think it was more of her not being able to handle doing all of those things at the same time with no help than it was about not picking somebody else. Because to be honest, if she ain't picking somebody else, she gonna start picking somebody else if she stay married to him. Oh, that's gonna happen. Because what you running to Atlanta for, sir? What's in Atlanta?
Everybody wants to come to Atlanta to do their fizzle.
What's in Atlanta?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. With that being said, I think we should move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Please, Les.
Love and Marriage. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all, I haven't been too impressed. I feel like the last 3 episodes have like lightweight strung together into one episode because for the most part they've been about the same topics, different scene. Except this week we had 3 main things happen. Number 1 is Kimmy and Kyle actually have a sit down. I was low-key pissed off about this because for me, I felt like Maurice was committed to misunderstanding what Kimmy was talking about. And I feel like he mentally muscled her into thinking that the issue was between her and Kyle. And to me, it was very clear that her and Kyle may have had issues, but the current issue at hand is that you don't see Kimmy's priorities for parenting as important as what you see yours. So you're not going to help her raise Monster. You just want her to be in the house to do things for y'all. And I feel like he was trying so hard to make it not about that issue. So the fact that she actually sat down with Kyle, it kind of annoyed me because it made me feel like Maurice won. So from this conversation, Kimmy ends up telling Kyle how she felt about, people the world thinking that she was a side chick. And Kyle basically is like, those words never came out of my mouth. Kimmy is telling her that it's the impression that she left. And I think they left. Was that the to be continued scene? I can't remember what happened right there.
Yeah, it was. It was the 2. They left on that scene.
Okay, they left on that scene. Okay, so I'm gonna ask y'all how y'all feel about Kimmy and Kyle meeting up in the context of the conversation.
I think it was extremely pointless when you said that Maurice mentally muscled Kimmy. I feel like he didn't. I feel like she allows him to do it. So I feel like it wasn't much of a fight for him to try and get her to do that stuff. It's very rare these days that Kimmy really speaks up for herself. Very sternly. So she just went along like that. Just didn't make sense. You just sat up there and told him it wasn't a point. Y'all already sorted out your issues. why would you then go and sit with her? And if you sat with her, it shouldn't have been a conversation about y'all past. It should have been a conversation about her child in your house.
Right, and that's
That's
it.
primarily what it should have been about. And he just shifted the whole dynamics and like, I don't understand. It seemed like he was trying to get the conversation off of his parenting because he know it's bad, which is why he was pushing and throwing stuff off on Kyle, was saying that she didn't do a good job. And then also trying to, I guess, shift the storyline to be back about Kyle versus Kimmy
Yep.
and him being in the middle. Like, I don't know. It seemed like he was trying to use that as a distraction for how he is as a parent to the son. But then also, do you owe Kyle with some money or something? So you decided to figure out a way to get her back onto the show or something like that? Because you did say at one point you was gonna move them to Huntsville and pay for her and her husband's housing. I remember that because Kimmy sat out on the porch and cried because she couldn't seem to get through to you. And nothing she said mattered then, and it still doesn't matter now.
Y'all know what I think this is about now that I've thought about it some more. Because in my mind, I'm like, if Kimmy knows in her heart that she was not the side chick and that we haven't talked about it for 2 seasons, why the fuck would you make this your storyline in this season? But I'm thinking that Kimmy is beating a dead horse because I think that she has a hunch that she unknowingly was the side chick.
Absolutely.
I think that Maurice was fucking with Kyle, fucking with Kimmy at the same time. Kimmy wanted to believe that he may have been legally separated from his wife, but he wasn't separated from the legs. And I think that Kimmy is trying to make sure that they clarify that, because if Kyle admits that Kimmy wasn't a side chick, she would then be admitting that Maurice and Kyle wasn't fucking past the date that he told her. So I think low key that's what this is about.
I need Kimmy to accept the fact that Maurice was who the fuck he was and possibly is who he is. Because yeah, I truly unbeknownst to Miss Kimmy, it was definitely given side. He may have been telling you that he was done with her, but you don't know what he's telling her. And also, Kimmy, you said out your mouth how he was dating all these ladies, and then you said that you wasn't going to be a part of that, right? But you can't control what he was really doing, you know what I'm saying, with his ex-wife. So I feel like he very much so was in her head telling her whatever, as far as, yeah, we probably could get back together, probably, in her head, so he ain't got to pay child support or whatever the case is. You know how they do. But also, Kimmy, you denied the fact that that man was having sex parties or whatever he was having, women hang out at his office. Didn't she deny that too? So you be doing a whole lot of denial, and I need you to accept who he was and who he is.
It's sad because what I really think happened is that Kimmy spent so much time alone and doing everything on her own that she felt like she was missing out on having a man and a partner. And so because she's getting older, I think she was resigned to accept a lot just so that she would not be alone. And that makes me so sad because I feel like she probably would have had an easier go at this cancer situation if she were single. She would have had her son and her family and her friends there to take care of her, and she wouldn't have had to cook and clean and suffer through sex with a nigga that doesn't cook, that doesn't clean, that's not emotionally supportive, that can't have a reasonable conversation with logic, and also that is a whore. I think he's a whore, and I just think that he hides it well. But it's giving sex addiction, and he doesn't even make more money than you. That's another thing. You're the breadwinner. It's your house that y'all live in. So I don't see anything that she's getting out of this situation in order to make this amount of disrespect and this amount of cruelty okay. So let's fast forward. I mean, rewind, really. Let's rewind. When Kimmy went off on everybody in Vegas, sat there quiet as a church mouse and never once really put the foot on Marceau or Martell about calling her a side chick. To me, that should have been a moment where you sat there and looked around. And honestly, I would have had the idea that, well, I must have been a side chick because my husband never to defend me. So I guess I was a side chick and just didn't know about it because he never seemed to say anything. I would turn that shit on him and make him defend himself. She was always running to defend him because I think that's what she was mentally, abused into doing. Like, I think we saw it happening over time. I think it was little by little. We all were watching it because her voice started to change. You start to see her fight less for herself, agree with his bullshit more, especially between her and Tisha. All of a sudden, she can't speak her mind anymore because that's a problem for the Scott family. So she's bullied into staying quiet about shit she don't agree with. So that was the mind fuck into that situation as far as I'm concerned. And then she got sick and felt like, oh Lord, well, I don't want to be here by myself. But it's like, girl, wait. He can't even make sure his son treats you with love and consideration that you're sick. There's no reason why this lady facing cancer should still be cooking or cleaning up after anybody older
Mm-mm.
clean and take care of themselves. And he said in that interview with Carlos that does not matter to him. What matters more is grades. So I'm gonna keep telling y'all, Maurice is trying to live vicariously through his son because he felt like he didn't do the shit he was supposed to do at a young age, probably because he was just as hard-headed back then as he is now. He also told us he was a deacon at one point, which let me know everything I needed to know.
Wow.
And he did it because he was trying to see if he could get in control of himself because he was having so much sex he thought he had gotten AIDS or HIV.
Oh Lord, he said that?
Yes, girl. He said all this in that interview with Carlos. He said when he got out of college, he was doing so much, having so much unprotected sex. He thought he had AIDS or HIV, so he decided to go to school, divinity school, I guess, to become a deacon. And he did that for like 6 months. That was the longest time he ever went without having sex. Felt, realized he couldn't do that and hopped up off of that. But either way, I feel like it's still the same thing. Y'all only go running to God when y'all are trying to get yourselves together or when you're trying to use that religion against women. But I think he has a sex addiction that because of the society of men, you don't see it as a problem. But it's absolutely a problem when you're making your cancer-ridden wife suffer through sex that's not pleasurable to her because you need sex. Like, he fuck out my face, and he absolutely triangulated her and Kiowa on purpose because he wanted them to be in disagreements. I think he gets off on them kind of fighting over him. That's why he's always kind of kept this triangulation between them. I don't think he ever wanted them to really get along until it suited him, and now it suits him for them to get along so he can do less parenting. If y'all talk, then I don't have to do anything. That way y'all can just parent him for me and I can just take all of the credit and say that I was a present father just because I moved him in the house with me and my girlfriend who I only married because I saw that she had raised such a good young man that I'm like, oh, she'll be good at raising my son. That's what he thought.
And I agree.
The read is done.
Yeah. Since we on that, let me go ahead and just play the clip of Maurice and Carlos, the viral clip where everybody was just thoroughly disgusted. Let me go ahead and play it.
That much of a sexual person to where, despite what she's going through right now, you still feel like there's a happy medium in terms of her pleasuring you.
There's a difference between wants and needs, all right? And I'm a person who actually needs sex, not a person who wants sex. Now, at times I want it, but I actually need it. Life throws us curveballs like what we're going through right now. What Kimmy is doing is admirable as a spouse. To roll over and suffer through it, fakes it, all for me. Because at that moment, it's something that she completely didn't desire. All right? So I look at it as her standing by me while I'm standing by her.
I love the audio that comes on at the end that pretty much does the boom. It was just giving, that's a dumbass for you. It was something about that sound after somebody say something so fucking stupid that I just like. But this was the most ignorant thing that you could ever say, especially on a public platform. You might feel that way, but you really could have kept that bullshit to your damn self, in all honesty. And I just can't get past the fact that you said that what did he say? He find it commendable or something?
Yes. He said it was commendable for her because he sees it as her making a sacrifice for him. The way he feels being with her while she has cancer is him making a sacrifice for her.
And it's him still not connecting. Like, your desire and your need to have sex is completely different than her desire and need to still to live and fight for her motherfucking child and herself. I want her to leave. Like, I want her to leave him quicker than I want Tisha to leave Marceau.
Absolutely.
I told her I couldn't stand this man.
I think Marceau has known for the longest that eventually Maurice was gonna make himself look dumb. That's why he's helped it along. Like, even like, to me, I don't know what it is about Maurice and Marceau, but they have an adversarial relationship where they kind of throw each other under the bus in front of everybody often, but then they still protect each other's lies at the same time. It's a very weird thing that I watched them.
They do.
But it comes from a space, I think, of competing, of who can do the most and get away with the most. I really think they just trying to get everything for a discount from their women. Y'all want to be able to get as much as y'all can out of these women without having to give them the same in return. And it's so obvious because both of the women are shrinking themselves exponentially to be in relationships with niggas that have not really built anything without these women. Like, I don't think Marceau would have been able to do any of those things without Tisha, and he knows it. And Maurice was talking about in his interview, like, I couldn't believe it. I was looking at Kimmy like something got to be wrong. Why isn't she with a man? Why hasn't somebody gotten her already? It's like, so you recognize what you was getting when you got with her. You recognize it was your maid mattress and mule that you have been waiting on, baby. And he got it. And I just feel sorry for Kimmy. I still do, because I feel like when you don't see it, it's really because you don't see it, y'all. Like, they really don't see it. They think they're getting something better out of the deal. They have been socialized and trained for years to view having a piece of man is better than
no man.
Right.
That's just not true.
I just don't see how one can watch their wife fight for their life, struggling, exhausted, right? Exhausted. I feel like Kimmy probably still working as a nurse. Who knows, right? Exhausted, and you fix your wide body, big body ass,
Big back
to
ass.
climb, big back ass, to climb on top of this woman just so you can catch yours. I just don't see how one. Y'all
It's
built
disgusting.
different.
And like the fact that he said it and didn't think that anything was wrong with it was sickening to me. Especially, like, how do you even get off knowing that your wife really don't want to have sex with you? You don't even look forward to that type of intimacy with her. And every time we talk about y'all are talking about sex. And for Kimmy to sit up 2 episodes back and have a conversation with her friend about how she feel bad that she not giving her husband enough sex while she fighting for her life, it disgusts me. And I feel like this season we are starting to see that Maurice and Kimmy are who we said Tisha and Marceau was.
Because Tisha over there giving, I got a boyfriend, but I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, she still ain't giving it to me. I wish she would give it, but I feel like
there's a piece of Miss Wanda in there that I absolutely think as she gets older, she will project something else to the world. But because she would simply die if she didn't do something else, she's going to, do her shit on the back end like he do. She gonna get just as good as lying and protecting everything as he does. And then she gonna turn around and look at him like, well, you taught me how to do it. At some point, Tisha's gonna have to, because you can't maintain that for too long. Either that or you're gonna disassociate. But the way she's been kind of moving around him, and they haven't really been together as much, it's giving me sis trying to find a way to get whatever she need somewhere else because she recognized she can't get it from him. And that's just
I don't know. I mean, Tisha giving me, she probably got a little crush.
Right.
But I know man yet. Not know she ain't full throttle with it yet.
After last season with the picture and her crying in the car and everything switching up after that, I don't know, y'all. Tisha been real cute for no reason. Like, I'm just saying, Tisha be walking in the scenes and shit like she about to go on a date.
She know more than what they saw on the show, and she cussed his ass out and threatened to take everything he had because I guarantee you, majority, if not all, the businesses are in her name with her credit score. So I think that's probably why she probably whipped him into shape. I wanted to read this comment right here because it had to do with what I was saying. Thank you for the super chat. Yep, that's D. She says, I'm sorry it makes Kimmy look weak because why you not cussing him out? And I'm going to tell you why she not cussing him out. she not cussing him out. Like Tisha don't be trying to argue with Marceau because they're with people who will mentally abuse them. People who play mental gymnastics, yep, they will tire you out and you'll end up being in a black hole conversation. So I feel like after a while of Tisha and Kimmy being with these men for so long, they know that whenever they debate, it's no longer like, it's not about who wins the conversation, because you know when you're talking to somebody like that who will mentally abuse you and tire you out, you ain't never gonna win the conversation. It's literally just how long you can get your point across. And at some point, it's like, do I feel like it? Let me play dumb. Let me end the conversation. And I'm gonna let you know, like, I think that's why she not cussing him out.
And every time she want to get serious with him, she kind of laugh. Like, why do you always say that? Why do you do that? And it's like, no, why you do that?
She's tired. She's tired, and she keeps trying to bend herself into getting over it, but it only gets harder. You're still living, you're still alive. It's only going to get harder. And honestly, I think his days are numbered, because once you get over almost dying and then you realize that this motherfucker really don't value you at all, because he's not doing anything that, to me, you don't cook, you don't clean, you don't make most of the money, and I don't need your dick right now. So you have no value to her. And she's smart. So eventually I think it'll break off, but she got to stop fucking. And if she don't, that's what I'm saying. She got to stop having sex with him all the time, because I think, girl, it's just going to take a minute. But I think as long as she keep having sex with him, it's just be harder to let go, because I think it creates the bond that she doesn't get from him emotionally at any other time. He's one of them, you know, one of those. And another thing, girl, I was just like, so you doing all of that hunching and you still not, this is what I want to say. Any man that likes hunching that much, but he don't care about whether the woman is being pleasured or not, do not give him your coochie. Do not get, it's not a part of his pride in the moment that you also get yours. If he doesn't feel like a piece of shit, if you don't also orgasm, you are not doing your job the right way. And I'm just being real with every woman out there, whoever's listening to me, because I don't think there's a man alive that's having sex with somebody and not getting the orgasm as frequently as women.
Right.
So I'm telling you right now, if he don't care about how it feel to you, if he don't care if you didn't get what you needed out of the situation physically, please do not have sex with him. Don't do it to yourself. It's pointless.
He's a taker. He will take everything you have.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Take everything you have and use it to his benefit in every aspect of your life, if that's how it's going down.
1000%.
Okay. So next, y'all, Tisha is mad about Keke not coming to the Key to the City. I don't really care about that. I wanted to talk to y'all about Mel and Martell and them having to summon witnesses to come to court. Well, let me rephrase that, because Mel didn't summon anybody. Martell summoned the Fletchers to come to court without them knowing and expected them to speak against Mel. Mel met up with the Fletchers and talked to them about it. And basically, when they came to the stand, they said they were being fair, they were being honest. And I guess he wanted them to talk bad about Mel. Not only that, he got mad at his mama and was like, I'm your son. You supposed to speak on my part, because Miss Marlene was on the stand and she wasn't lying. I guess he wanted her to like make it seem like Mel was a bad parent. So I feel like it's pretty embarrassing. Not only that, the house that Martell is in, like I thought, was a temporary house, and it was a rental. And now the house that he's in is under contract, and he's going to have to find a whole new place to stay. So now they're questioning on if his coin is right, because he is trying to get Mel to pay for his lawyer's fees.
Oh, hell no.
On top of that, Mel says that the case is closed. Everything pretty much stayed the same. But she wants to appeal it because she felt like the judge was unfair. And the judge basically said, I can tell that the father has the best interest of the kids, and didn't feel like Mel had it, because Mel was refusing to share her phone number with Martell, which I feel like Mel had pretty good reason. He tapped her phone. He's threatened her from what we've seen. And now that we know in present day, this whole revenge P thing has come out, I wonder if the judge is like, regretting saying that. So I think that's interesting. The other thing is, Martell and Marlene claimed that Mel offered to do a 6 months on, 6 months off, with the kids, which they thought was crazy. So I guess thoughts on 6 months on, 6 months off. Thoughts on him asking the Fletchers and his mama to come and basically speak bad about Mel.
6 months on, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't have no thoughts too much on
It
that.
might not even be true.
I think
Yeah, it might not. I just feel like that's a lot. I mean, I don't know. My thoughts are going to the kids like, damn, that's a lot. You get adjusted to something for 6 months, then you got to switch up. Maybe it is easier to just swap weeks. At least they get to, stay at the same school and you just picking them up, and whatever. So that might be easier. I don't know if it's true or not. But as far as the Fletchers, I just want to say this because I already know how I feel about Neil. Martell really called them people to the front because I don't have a whole lot to say. He called them people to the front to talk about this shit they really be saying about this lady behind her back. That's why he called their ass to the front. While Mel sitting over there engaging, interacting, eating croissants and shit with these people. Okay. I told you how Nell is. All right. So that's what it's really giving. Martell said, I won't, just because if he got his mama up there and the mama didn't even say that, we already seen what Miss Marlene had to say, her being fly. So yeah, Chris and Nell both be talking this shit about you. And that's what, and Martell was confirming it. So I wouldn't have been in nobody's house breaking bread about a goddamn thing. And it really wouldn't have been no need because y'all talked about what was facts. So it ain't no thank you to y'all. I don't need to thank you about anything for getting on the stand and speaking on my behalf. You told what was true. And that's just really that. So let me go see my ass down in my house with my kids. But I'm not fucking with y'all people. I feel like they need to be on the same side that you got teaching them all that you ain't really fucking with.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Probably
That's
is
my
though.
personal.
Probably is though. I feel like it wasn't that he had conversations with Nell exactly. I think he had conversations with Chris, and I think because of the way he likes to spray his friends, most of their conversations with him are about keeping him calm and less about how they actually feel.
I would agree, but the reason why I disagree is because of the sit down dinner that they had. And obviously, Chris felt so comfortable to just include Martell in on the dinner that he was having with his wife. So that makes me feel like she's often privy to conversations because she's there and likely gives her viewpoint and touch on her little shit too and may laugh and this and that and be in agreement with stuff. So that for me is what makes me feel like don't trust that lady.
Somebody in the comments just said something that I'm mad that I kind of felt like, oh damn, I see it. Anyway,
I see it too. I see it too.
Oh, listen,
damn.
I fully disagree with what Jamie is saying because I do agree with what you're saying, but I also feel like I know men like Martell, and even the people that like them have conversations with them to coax their ego more so than to say how they actually feel about anything. But I do feel you if you're gonna sit over there and talk shit about Mel to him. And I do think at one point they did that because I think Mel wasn't telling nobody nothing. So I do think, remember when Nell and Mel met up outside and Mel like, oh, I did not know that. And it was the first time Mel was actually able to cry and be open with somebody on camera about what she was going through. I think that probably was an actual real turning point because I don't think they knew about everything that was going on. They were only talking to Martell, so they was only getting his
side, which makes me think even more.
Yeah, because honestly, everything that people do on reality TV is intentional to me. And them filming the scene with her after in order to show how they didn't like the shit that he did, I really think that was them, letting it be known that we ain't like what you did, we not cool with it, and we gonna ride with Mel on this one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, because y'all, that scene was set up so we could get a better understanding of what happened in court. Just like all the scenes have been recently. It's to set the record straight for everybody that's confused listening to that nigga lie. And I got that for her. Not Nell was 68 high. No, I did not know. She was. You could tell she was mad. She was laughing about, oh, you think he broke? Like she definitely, I think, changed over in her emotions. I think a lot of people were going for Martell's charismatic bullshit for a long time until pulled in. And when they get pulled in like Kimmy did, then all of a sudden they start acting a little different. Now they don't want to invite you to shit the way they once did when they thought you was the nice guy, because now you didn't wrap them up in your bullshit.
Exactly.
That's the problem with everybody. Y'all only feel like it's a problem when he hurting his wife, not recognizing that the way he do her it's absolutely going to extend to the way he treats y'all, because that's just who he is. That's just who Martell is, girl. He gonna call his own mama down to the courthouse and be mad at her because she didn't give up extra information, even though you know that lady, one of them black people that they don't like to go down to the courthouse for nothing.
That's what she said. She was like, I don't know how to talk to them people.
Yes.
I ain't telling them nothing.
You could
Hilarious.
tell it's all a race thing. Okay, like you could tell, like she very much the black lady in her mind. But to me, it was so funny because I feel like he been letting us know more about their relationship for the past 2 episodes. That therapy session and this right here let me know that you treat Miss Marlene like shit too. That's probably why there's a triangulation with Mel. I think that something about the relationship makes me feel like Martell does the same thing to everybody. He threatens everybody. And a part of that makes me feel like his relationship with his mother has been inappropriate, not in a real physical way, but in an emotional, in a mental way, it's been inappropriate because he repeats the same like emotional blackmailing in all of his relationships.
Yeah, he blames people. I noticed that when he had his therapy session, and when he sat down, he found a way to blame everybody for everything in the session. And I know the therapist probably sitting there taking notes like, narcissist. like okay.
When he felt like he did nothing wrong, there was something else he said about like he don't feel like he did nothing wrong, or no, that was Brandon. Child, that was Brandon that said he didn't feel like he did nothing wrong. I'm confusing the niggas now. Oh, it's really.
But then Martell say something to his mom. I don't know. I think I saw a clip where he was like, I guess he pays her bills or something like that. So if I give you something, then I kind of expect you to. I don't know. It kind of sounds like a conversation he may have had with Mel in the past. And I'm like, you talk to your mama like that?
Or with Ariane specifically. I think he does that with Ariane. Ariane, I also think is the babysitter he might not have been able to get to watch the baby for him, to watch the kids for him, since we found out that, you know, there's a picture floating around that, you know, I think it was Make It Make Sense that said it. There's a picture floating around of Ariane shopping with the oldest kid.
Oh, wow.
At the grocery store.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, you know, people think that, you know, they think she was pregnant again. They think she had another baby. I don't know if that's true, since Mel said, you know, you don't have all those kids, because I think that would have been the moment for Mel to out that they did have a baby if that was the case. But yeah, I think a lot of shit is going on under wraps with Martell and Ariane, and we not really like knowing what's going on. But you can just see, because I think he handles all of the women in the same way. Triangulation, which is why Mama don't like Mel, and Ariane is still doing the same, you know, which is why Mel was going off, you know. So yeah.
Okay, so speaking of Mel and Ariane, since you brought that up, y'all got anything else on Love and Marriage Huntsville, or y'all ready for the gossip?
I do that natural segue right quick.
That worked out perfectly. So speaking of Ariane, Mel said she had time the other day. She was tired of sitting. She said she was gonna speak when she got ready to speak. So this is where everything started, I guess. So Ariane posted a screenshot. Somebody said, "How do you deal with all this negativity and false narratives? I'm sure it has to be draining." Ariane then says, "Girl, I stay out of touch. I hear HERE," because I was like, hold on. "I hear about shit after the fact. I'm so tired of these people that gotta say my name to be somewhat relevant." There she go again with their likeness. "Then they lie, and I feel like when I respond, it makes it worse. I stopped trying to prove my point with the internet, but it does get on my nerves. Then it reminds me I'm that bitch." And then they respond and they say, "That's understandable. Heavy on being that bitch." She says, "Heavy sis." She posted and she said the girls will get it.
Girl.
I know. Mel, who rarely responds to Ariane, finally did. She made a post. She says, "First off, it's here. Secondly, ain't nobody saying your name. Last I checked, I did millions before I even knew of you. And girl, shut up. That's your problem. You talk too much, then want to holler. I don't even be shut up or pull up." Then she posted again and said, "Somebody go get this damn dummy." But she didn't just give us the story. She actually went live. So I'm gonna play a clip from her live for y'all to see what she was talking about.
Somebody said, "Please press charges." Girl, y'all know I'm already handling all of that. And then for you to say you aren't talking about me, girl, you still got a whole video of me with my then husband. For what? What you got that for? For what? See, that's slow too, baby girl. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest. If I was with a dude and he my man, and he got a video of him with another woman and trying to show it to me, send it to me, anything me, I would be like, do you still want her? Can you stop talking about her? Why are you sending me this video of you and her? Like, that don't make you think that, like, slow. So somebody said Mel got time all week and next week. So since you said you can't pull up today, just know, baby girl, the doors are always open. And yes, I've already told my security that when they see you to pulling up, let you pull up. They got your picture. So pull up any day of the week, this week, next week, whatever week, because I'm here. I'm very much so.
Okay, I had to turn that off because they're gonna flag me for the
Where did
sound.
that music come from? I'm checking my damn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh shit. This is a good spot for me to put in a like the video just in case I need a time mark to edit the shit out. Y'all go ahead and do us a favor and like the video, and we're gonna get right back into it. Okay, we back. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Mel said pull up, and I don't believe I heard anything else from Ariane. I don't believe she pulled up. I don't think that she kept making posts. But the shit is weird. You said what?
She said something else after this about, oh, you so weird. Wasn't nobody even talking about you. And
Is that what she said? The bad body comment?
Yeah, she said, first off, I wasn't even talking about you. I haven't spoken on you in over 2 years. Don't flatter yourself, teacher. I'm not thinking about you. I'm confused as to why you would think I'm thinking about you. Slow. You so bossed up and still thinking about Ariane Curry. What have you been saying for you to think? I think you obsessed with me. Silly bad body ass. You up here talking about millions. LOL, you filed bankruptcy. Shut the fuck up. You and that show want me to be worried about you so bad, girl. Bye. LOL, pull up, not today. Maybe next week when you got the kids and can get one of your 22 babysitters. Me, though, I'm out being a mother to our 5 kids. It's family day. Holla at me after the 4th. We having fun, bookie boo. And then she made one final post that says, now y'all can see what's been going on in real life for years. I could be talking about the sky, and she gonna make y'all think I'm talking about her lace front. Delusional. I'm not mad at you, nor do I feel any hate towards you, girl. Let that go. Me discussing you does absolutely nothing for me. You're the one who put me at the front of your show, then cry and walk off stage like while we discussing her. Duh, because you wanted to. You the real dummy. How you feel now? Looking stupid, responding to something that has nothing to do with you. Bitter. And I guess she's saying that because the message in this first screenshot that you got is from Carson. So it was really an interact. Carson came out, leaked details of what she knew about the revenge tape or whatever.
Oh, this was before Carson stopped fucking with her.
Yes, before Carson stopped messing with her. Now, Carson came out and, told everybody about it. Melody did a video and confirmed that Carson wasn't necessarily lying. And then a blogger ended up having a conversation, which I believe could have been from around that time when she talked to Ariane. And she pretty much confirmed that she had it. And I believe in the audio, she said that she could send it to her if she wanted it. So Ariane talked about a lot of stuff in that audio that was leaked, which led Mel to post a lot of stuff before this, where she was like, after the stuff that I heard today, girl, it's giving po-po. So she was saying a lot of different tweets. And I don't think that Ariane really knew that Mel was privy to the audio that took place. So Ariane is having conversations where she's exposing Carson. Meanwhile, Mel is upset based on the phone call audio that was leaked and her confirming that she had the tape or whatever the case is. And so that's the reason why Mel is mad. Because I was confused, like, Ariane, why are you talking like you don't know that this audio has been dropped of you? That's probably why she felt like nobody's talking about you, Mel. And it's like, but you were, though, because you're stupid. This
Slow.
audio was leaked. And then that's how we found out about Ariane, though. Remember when she first came out? I know Funky did a video, but I specifically recall audio of her having a conversation about she and Martell. And I don't know if it was the same blogger or not, but she was on the phone airing out all of this information on a recorded call. And then here we are again. Like, come on.
Like Mel said, she talked too much, just running her mouth. Just running.
I appreciate the thorough rundown, Jamie. My
Oh,
goodness.
no problem.
Girl,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad Mel finally said something. I just would like to ask everybody, when is a good time to go off on somebody? Because a lot of people felt like, oh, Mel, you know, why you waited until now? You should have just stayed quiet. Girl, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all gonna stop policing the way people respond to bullshit. At the end of the day, that lady been trying to keep it cute for a long time because that's what she's been raised to do. She didn't even want curse until her mama and her auntie was out the damn live, as if they not gonna see it on the blogs, as if they don't curse, as if you're not grown, as if you have not probably been paying for everybody in one way or another. You can't even curse. I need y'all to let yourselves live sometimes, ladies, okay? Because you're gonna do it anyway. You're cussing anyway. I'm sorry. But anyway, so she waited for them to get off before she went off on, on the girl and called her bird brain and cursed out and told her that she whoop her ass. Hey, please don't let this, please don't let this little taste fool you. I will beat your ass, is what Mel told her. So I just kind of feel like I'm glad she finally went off. Carson is the girl. Okay, so Carson was Tisha's wig stylist for a moment.
When her hair started looking good.
Yes, and she was on the show when they had that tea. She was on a show, and somebody pointed out that she was on live one time with Ariane. Apparently, her and Ariane were cool. They actually met because the girl already had a social media following, and she asked for somebody to show her around Huntsville, I guess. And Ariane was the person that decided to give her help with that. So they met. I don't even know if they met up. They met up and had drinks. And then Ariane starts telling her all of this shit. And then Martell calls her while she was talking to the girl and was like, who you with? And stop running your mouth. He must have felt it in his spirit that she was somewhere running her mouth, because Carson said somebody called and was asking her what she was saying and, telling her she better not be saying nothing, basically. So the conversation that they had was that Martell asked Ariane to put out a tape of Mel giving him fellatio that they had from when they were together. He wanted Ariane to put that out on a fake Facebook page. And Ariane told Carson about the whole thing. Carson then, because she got on the show and started getting dragged for her affiliation with Ariane once everybody figured it out, decided to let Mel know what was going on herself. That was the first time the shit came out. Then the blog decided to, put that conversation out there with that terrible ass audio watermark that I just could not. Child, I didn't even listen to the whole audio. I let y'all tell me what happened. That was one of them times where I just didn't care about getting the evidence myself, child. I had to let y'all tell.
And then dropped it, 2 months later?
Yep.
I have to say, I'm still questioning, out of all the people in Huntsville, why would Carson choose to want to connect with Ariane?
That's what I was
is
thinking.
giving a bit sketch to me. And were you doing that on behalf of someone else to learn some tea to bring it back at a later time? I don't know. That's interesting.
Take this down, Necey. I need y'all to see me for this one.
Okay.
Because I'm glad you said that, Jamie. Because that reminded me of part of the story that never sat right with me was her relationship with Marcel. So apparently,
Whose relationship?
Carson's.
Marcel.
I didn't know she had a relationship with Marcel.
Oh yeah, she said in the video that he let her borrow his car at one point. And
you're right. I remember that. Okay.
He turned around and said, "No, he let my husband borrow." I said, "No, bitch, you said it right the first time." You said it right.
She did say that.
But trying to sue Ariane because Ariane said some tea on that call. Because Ariane was like, "You was trying to smash that lady husband."
I already knew that.
And now she's talking about she trying to sue. Girl, they giving fraud.
Girl, please. She's the perfect type to fuck with Marceau because Marceau looks for women who have something to lose. That's how he ain't never been put on blast. And married women are the perfect people to have affairs with because they never gonna tell your tea because it's their tea too. They don't want to be put on blast, so they're not gonna tell your tea. So I absolutely feel like that probably happened, which is why you was borrowing the car, because that don't even make sense. Why would he just meet you, befriend you at the party? And honestly, I feel like Marceau was also letting us know what was going on with Belinda at that same party because she was there too. Carson was at
you talking about the Ira, the wine party in Atlanta.
First wine in Atlanta, in that all women. Belinda was there too, and Marceau specifically went up to her to talk to her, and I think it was to point her out to everybody because it didn't make sense and it seemed intentional at the same time. So I think he was pointing her out,
reminding people who Belinda is allegedly.
That's what I think. And so I also think he had his piece in the room too. It was trying to get a piece, but I think he definitely saw Carson, tall, pretty, little dumb, but got something to lose, got her businesses. Look better than Arie.
Little dumb.
Well, how you gonna get up here and tell on yourself, and then when people start calling it out and saying it don't make sense, now you want to sue somebody that's giving dumb?
Ooh. Is that why Mel said Tweedle Dom and Tweedle Dahmer? What was it?
She probably was talking about Martell, but it could have been
Belinda. Allegedly Martell, the real girlfriend, not Ariane or not Sheree, and she helped him with his businesses. Allegedly, she got money.
Mel said concubine. Girl, I can't.
Belinda's the one that I think she might have dropped it once it kind of all came out, but she, I think, was the one with the money. Because y'all notice how all of a sudden nigga got money to invest in suits and shit. Now all of a sudden the energy is different. Now I've gotten myself back on my feet. He just let us know that. Like last episode or something like that, he done got back on his feet now. And I'm like, how the fuck you got back on your feet? You've been making the same check with this reality show the whole time, and you've been over there accruing lawyers' bills by taking. So how the fuck you still? How you got your money back up, sir?
Wasting them children's money.
That's all I can say.
Oh, the judge too. We forgot to talk about that. The judge.
What about the judge?
I think the judge in their custody case is one of the women that saw him and likened. They like him.
I thought it was a man.
Oh,
no, it was a lady.
What?
Man said that.
Y'all said that in the last episode when she was talking to Nell and them. She was saying how she's going to try to get an appeal because she liked the fact that the lady said to her that she did not have her children's best interest at heart like the father did because Mel didn't want to give Martell her phone number after he had chased her down on that date and harassed her and called her phone over and over and over again.
And pulling up on her when she on dates and shit. Girl.
Right, that's what she said.
See, it seemed like he did the custody thing not just to get back at her and for the babysitter shit. That's bullshit. He did it because he was trying to knock off the protection order. Apparently, they were supposed to go to court for a protection order, and he had his.
That is what she said. I forgot about that.
Yes, he had his lawyer file the custody thing, and so that superseded the protection order because they had already wrapped all of that up with the custody in the divorce. So if she would have got the protection order, that would have made it even harder for him to continue to do what he was doing, which was harassing her. Mind you, she said he hacked the phone. He followed her and recorded her on the date and put the fucking video on Instagram. We saw it because he posted that. She didn't. He posted that video. And that was around the same time when he allegedly threatened her with the video. And it's not alleged because if her story, she showed that what he did in his stories threatening her. They were going back and forth. And he threatened her in the stories. And we didn't really catch it because we didn't know what was going on. But yeah, he had done that originally. So that's how we knew when the story came out that the girl was telling the truth, because we remembered that he kind of had, indicated that that's what he was doing with Mel. She better leave him alone.
He did. Yeah. And even said in the interview that he was just threatening her.
Yeah. In the Queen Sheba interview.
Yeah.
So with that, you look at the judge, and the judge doesn't care that he's been harassing this woman, that he's been doing all of these things. And then how you gonna say he had his kid's best interest at heart when you told him to go to anger management and he didn't go?
Oh,
another thing that I was like, girl, he didn't even follow your instructions. He admitted to not following your instructions because he didn't feel like he needed to go to therapy up until now. Up until now. But when the judge told him, he said no. And she, still after all of that, having to reprimand him, go sit up here and act like, oh, he's the only one that cares about the kids. Word. Trying to take them from their mama who takes care of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite disgusting. That's the only reason why I want Mel to stay on the show is so we can all keep tabs on him. That's the only reason why. Other than that.
But you're right. Because I've gone back and forth. But after her going off on old girl, I'm like, you know what, Mel? Stay there until it run off. Stay there until y'all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Else? Yeah.
They say he knocked down that judge. Probably. Listen. Somebody gonna tell us he good at script.
Goodness, I can't. Okay. So now Love and Marriage Huntsville. See, I tell you that should be mentally draining. Like, this is wild. I'm like shook. Even I'm shook. Because like I knew all of this stuff, but I was not keeping up with all of it and circling it together. You know, like adding it to one big thing. And then hearing you said what?
It took both of us.
It did.
Add this shit together. It's too
long. Yeah, for sure.
It did.
It's
because
a lot.
I be on the day today, like, this is what happened today with Love and Marriage Huntsville. But then it'd be like, oh yeah, because whoo, child. Thank y'all for the recap. Okay, let's get into the last two gossip Okay, so the last two gossip topics. Number one, we're going to talk about Candy and Tamika sitting down for to speak on it. And Tamika ended up spilling tea about her and her sister, and she kind of recaps what everybody was talking about for the past couple months. I really hate that this is on the heels of talking about revenge pee from one topic to the next, but that's exactly what it is. That's crazy. We know Tamika and her sister fell out. And her brother-in-law Rocky had threatened to post a sex tape that her sister was keeping safe for her at her house because Tamika didn't want her husband to see it. And she was like, you know, I look good. Let me go back to the video every now and then. Keep it at your house and you're safe. It ended up going missing. Tamika's getting all these phone calls and all this stuff. They end up tracing down the phone number, and then they end up circling it back and tying it to her brother-in-law Rocky and her sister Latasha about, you know, these are the people who are threatening her and essentially blackmailing her. She also talks about how before the show started, she wanted to get back cool with her sister, and she wanted to have a sit down with both her sister and her mama and make sure that they was all good before the show started, but they didn't want to do that. And basically what we know is, to this day, Tamika and her sister have not talked since what we seen on the show. She don't even have her phone number. And Tamika has since then filed for a temporary protection order against her sister and Rocky. And she claims that it's for the benefit of everybody because Rocky is threatening her, saying stuff like, you know, you don't want to mess with somebody like me. But she's also saying it's to their benefit because she's saying her husband don't play. So I wanted to play the audio from the interview. So give me a thumbs up, Bondi, because I can see your camera. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold up. I got it. Like, hold on. Because I'm about to fuck it up. I got to share my screen.
talk through it because when she was there with us and we were trying to talk about it, she kind of like dismissed us. So we never got any clarity and understanding. So I feel like that is still weighing. I feel like
I'm just gonna go and say it. I'm gonna go and say it. I'm just gonna go and say it.
What?
I did a temporary TPO order on my sister and her husband because I was getting threats. I was getting text messages. He even said threats I felt live when he said I lied on him and you don't do that to me, or you got to deal with what comes with that. So I don't take certain things lightly. So I did a temporary TPO order and the judge granted it to me based on the evidence that I presented. I was granted the TPO order on them. So when you say, can we get back together? It's a TPO order out because he's threatening me. And a lot of people, and this is crazy. This is where it gets crazy. The TPO order protects me just in case, because he's known to pull out on people. It protects me and it also protects them because my husband is very quiet. He's at his wit's end. It's not easy. My thing is let God deal with it. Let God be the avenger.
We couldn't miss.
No,
we don't want because we don't want no threat. So we don't.
This ain't no threat.
Okay.
It's to protect both. Right. Parties. It's protect both parties. My husband is dealing with a lot. People are coming at him like, "Oh, why are you not taking up for your wife? This guy is doing all this. He's blackmailing your wife. He's doing all this. He's doing all that." My husband is a man. It is the hand of God that is keeping him at bay to say, "Okay, I'm gonna sit here and let God deal with that." But when you have people that's DMing you got people sending messages, what type of man, how you security? Oh, you top-notch security, but you letting this do this. I'm like, we sit and we talk. It's not easy. Mm-hmm. I'm just being honest. It's not easy. We sit and we talk, and I'm like, you got to think about our money. You going to jail. If you see him and beat him up, what everybody wants, you're going to go to jail.
Well.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay, so that's pretty much that. She got the temporary protective order, and the fact that Candy in the video was like, "Hold on, we gonna clip this because we don't want no threats." I didn't want to play the video for too long, but I wanted to make sure y'all knew what she said. Probably like 2 minutes after this, she really is not taking his threats lightly. She mentioned something about her husband would not allow her to be killed. And she was saying something about, my husband just wouldn't allow me to be dead and all this stuff. I think she truly is afraid for her life when it comes to this situation, which I think is wild as fuck. But if y'all watch the interview, I want to know y'all thoughts.
For me, I definitely heard that she was taking those threats seriously. And I feel like there's a reason why she believes that he would do something to her. And I think that there's some truth to what people have been saying about there might possibly, be a, whole addiction problem going on of some sort because it's given unhinged. And I also feel like he's probably done things in the past that let them know what he's capable of, but nobody's going to talk about that or say anything because, nobody wants to stress trouble. So they just going to be quiet and kind of skate around it. But it's given that everybody knows what he's capable of. And that's the reason why they are treading lightly in the situation. I also feel like I'm glad Tamika is speaking up and saying what's going on because it does protect her, first of all. And I also feel like the more honest they are about this, the bigger wedge is probably being drawn between him and Latasha. And I think that'll be a good thing eventually for her relationship with Tamika. That's the only way that, they're going to actually be able to get better as friends, as sisters, is if Latasha's mind is unwrapped from the dude and from her insecure shit that he plays into.
Yes.
With the situations that we just seen, that might be coming soon. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely caught out there again. I kind of feel like, whatever Tamika said he did that instant shot. And I'm glad that she's taking it very serious. It sucks that she got a TPO against her sister. But if that's your man and you gonna stick beside him, then I'm gonna stick this TPO, beside both of y'all because I don't want y'all near me and I want to protect my family. So I like that, and I'm not surprised that they haven't talked because Tasha has already shown us as a person that's in denial. So like that's the only way she and Tamika are gonna be able to have a conversation is if you sit down and accept whatever accountability you're supposed to accept. And I just don't see Tasha doing it. Like I don't care how many times she cry on live. I just don't see it. So they're gonna be estranged for a while. But did she talk about her dynamic with her mama? Like where is she with her mom?
She said that she asked the mama for her sister's phone number. Her mama still wouldn't give it to her and said that she needs her peace. So it still sounds like her mama is very much on the sister side. But as far as just their relationship, if they talk or if they gotten better, I don't know about that.
Sometimes you gotta let go of family. If they don't mean you know well and they ain't paying your bills and all of that, sometimes
She
you
said
definitely
that.
gotta love them from afar. I can't.
She said that in
She
the
said
interview.
that?
Yeah, she said she don't understand how Black people, just protect everybody in their family and they don't, just stand up for themselves. It's like you got to protect everybody in the family. And she said she ain't with that.
Oh yeah, no, I let that go, child. I tell y'all, just stay away from me because I ain't got time for y'all. I'm too old now. I'm getting too old for this shit. Like I don't care.
I wanted to flash the image of Rocky from Funky Not Even page. He posted this, and he allegedly out with some young girl spending all Tamika money.
All of that lady money, child. I cannot.
All Tamika.
Now that 30K up. Let me stop.
This is sad.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, damn.
And
okay.
Still stick. Oh, I can't.
She gonna stick beside him.
Absolutely.
Last topic that I wanted to talk about, and I know everybody been excited to talk about this topic. We talking about the baby daddies. We talking about the baby daddies. Particularly, we are talking about Keke Palmer baby daddy, and he was pretty mad after this video right here. I just started thinking, I wonder if I can mute it because I wonder if they're gonna flag it because of sound.
I would just mute on the safe side.
How do I mute it? I don't think I can mute it.
If you share it, are you able? If you share it as a screen share, you can mute it that way.
Let me do that. Give me a hot second. Y'all like the video so I can show y'all Keke Palmer booty cheeks. You see my face? Okay, I got it. I'm about to switch over. When y'all go ahead and run this? Run this real quick while I pull up the video.
Okay. It's the outfit though. You a mom. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Yeah, that was real. He thought he ate, girl. He thought he ate.
He did. He did. The thing that sticks out the most to me is the mom part. It's giving one of those things that a person may throw at you as though it's your weakness to try and get you to move how they want you to move. Like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because of this. But the whole time, it's like something they dangling over your head, but the real reason is because they got some other shit that they got going on. And I feel like he tried to use that whole mom word against her, like it was supposed to penetrate her feelings of some sort. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
I think he trapped her. I think he trapped her. I think it's so evident now. Girl, Paris Milan, another YouTuber,
Mhm.
she did a video about like, just following some of the conversations they had on the podcast and just the whole relationship. And they've only been together for like 2 years total. She says that she saw him and he was attractive. So she walks up to him and, offers to get him a drink. I think he saw a lick, to be honest. And I think that he played the role of somebody that was going to be supportive of who she was, because he was online, talking about her cakes were all, juicy since having a baby and everything. He could put her online like that, but she go out of town and usher a man you can't compete with all in her face, and now you decide to get online and embarrass this girl. But I'm gonna tell y'all the thing that's pissing me off the most is all of the people that think her doing this was embarrassing him, when nobody thought that. They all thought he was joking at first. So it's real annoying to me that now because there are a whole bunch of women. Girl, when I saw Kalina from Love and Hip Hop, do y'all remember Kalina?
Yeah.
Was
the one that was with Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And on the show was having a threesome and it was, infatuated with the strip clubs and the girls' ass cheeks and all of that shit.
Yeah.
He's one of the people in the comments talking about he's right. And I'm just kind of like, he's right about what? Just because y'all have gotten worn down, letting niggas tell y'all what to do, does not mean that everybody is living in that space. And it's just mad annoying that there were so many people saying that he was right. I was just like, girl, what? Mm-mm.
That's crazy to me. Now he's now having standards and morals. Now that Usher is in his girl's face, but you didn't have standards and morals to get engaged or married. Or did you have standards and morals when you asked the last girl that you was with to have an abortion? Allegedly.
Oh, hold up. Look, Essence had to come to her defense, y'all. Look what Essence said. Dear Keke Palmer, you are a woman of undeniable talent, and witnessing your growth has truly been a rewarding experience. Nothing has been more enjoyable than watching you become a mother. That new mom glow looks good on you. That new mom body looks good on you. That big boss energy looks good on you. Every time you step onto the scene, the math adds up to 8. This is your year, and you are taking it unapologetically as you should. In case anyone forgets, baby, this always has been and always will be Keke Palmer. We love you. Hashtag Essence. I said, not somebody from New Orleans writing this.
Listen, I love it.
Look, they even did like a little video talking
about slash,
the public shaming, asserting manhood, postpartum depression. Like they really doing a little breakdown for the people, because y'all not understanding. Y'all really not.
Listen, this breakdown, they did a great job with this. Shout out to Essence for coming to her defense. And that's how you do that, instead of just posting her up on your platform to get engagement from the people because they're arguing over difference of opinions.
Thank you for that, because they do that. That's all they do.
That's all they do.
Essence,
I don't see nothing wrong with this lady attire. Huh?
Nah.
I was saying Essence actually spoke up for the girls at Essence, because they was complaining about Meg and Janelle.
Yeah.
And Essence Fest was like, baby, this is a place for all women's femininity to be celebrated. However they choose to be in that. And I was here for that, because I was like, I'm tired of y'all with this shit. Like, niggas disrespect everybody. Why do women have to always be considering everybody's feelings but their own when they decide to do something?
Exactly.
Go to a damn concert. Girl, let me tell you something. Usher was gonna, girl, please. Everybody sitting there fronting like Usher wasn't gonna be able to put their arms around. Girl, Usher with the dimples and looking at you with that big dick energy. Look at the way look at the way he's standing while he's looking at her like that. I don't care what y'all saw. I was turned on. And
girl, homeboy was sick.
He was sick. It was her outfit. And I'm glad they held him accountable, because they held him accountable. I'm glad they dug this up.
I feel like he disguised too. First thing he used against her was, oh, you're a mom. If that doesn't work, well, first thing he did was, your outfit is a problem. Then it's, oh, you're a mom. But the real reason is that your ego is hurt because Usher's all on your woman. It's okay for you to make posts about Keke and show her off and do all this and that, but it's not okay for Keke to show off her own body. And in all honesty, she wasn't, and it's no disrespect to Sukiana and women that dress like her, you know what I'm saying? Where they're more revealing. I mean, it was nothing like that. It was given grown and sexy. And I feel like if you were standing there with her at that concert, you would not have said a damn thing about her attire. So for me, it has nothing to do with what she had on, but everything to do with how you were feeling. And you could have just texted her. You could have called her.
I wish she would have kept this man under wraps for longer. I mean, literally, whenever to Bonnie's point, you said they had only been together for 2 years. They met she did an interview talking about when they met. They met in June of 2021 when Diddy and Issa had that combined party. And his brother was there, and he was there with his brother. And she was talking about how she liked him. He was quiet. He was to himself. That was June 2021. Her baby is probably 3 or 4 months old now. So if you think about it, she knew him for, what's the math? Correct me if my math ain't mathing. She knew him for less than a year before she got pregnant by him. Or close to it.
I think it might be 6 months.
Probably close to it. Probably a little over. If they met in 2021 or June 2022, I think she would at least know him like a year and some change before she got pregnant.
Somebody asked what he does for a living, and I was about to say, I believe that she invested business for him.
I was about to say
he was
that,
an actor or something.
But he does something with videos. Oh, he's on her platform now. He's on her platform. She posted videos. It was just something about the whole situation that whenever she revealed who he was, knowing that he was just her boyfriend, like, I could take the baby. Cool. I was excited. But for her to go from like single Keke to boom, family Keke, I wanted to know, like, why didn't you really press this man before you had his baby? And I just always felt like he was going to embarrass her eventually. And then that day has came. He embarrassed her.
Big time. And I hate the way people online are acting like she embarrassed him first by being up there like that. And I was like, y'all thought he was joking. Y'all didn't even think he was serious about that shit. So I'm real annoyed. Like, I'm still, because I'm reading some of these comments, y'all. And I just hate the way it's always like women the loudest with, he right. Like, girl, shut up. You just mad because you don't like your ass that much. And that's on you. That's on you. But some of us like our bodies and show them off because they look good and we like them. I don't understand why it's any different than when anybody puts something on that they like and it makes them feel good because they know they look good. Like, why is it different? I don't get it.
This one I'm with. Keke should have kept him low key till marriage like Issa. Yeah, it's quite embarrassing. And then people was digging up older tweets of him too. Let me read this.
She don't need to marry nobody. I think she should stay a single woman and date and have relationships and long-term ones that she see fit. But the type of shit she's built on her own, she's probably not going to come into contact with a lot of men that honestly she can trust long-term. So if I was her, I wouldn't be getting legally bound to none of these. No.
It's a no face, no case. I would have never posted his ass. Never. Never. Would have kept that on my burner account. Like the celebrities be doing.
Wait, hold up. What Lil Duval said? I missed that. Hold up. Wait, I don't know why he can't work. Even said something on social media. It's no way to win against these women on here. Oh, really? Is that how you feel? You still around? I don't know what you mean. You still around? And we always talking about your ass.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Tracy Ellis Ross. Y'all saw he liked a tweet calling Tracy Ellis Ross a loser, huh?
Yes. And then also, you had sent that tweet about him liking some conservative stuff about Mexicans or something.
Yes.
And the Alton Sterling situation.
Oh my God, I missed that one.
What did he say about Alton Sterling?
He said something about him needing to have obeyed the law. Maybe if he would have did what the cops said, then he wouldn't have been in that situation type thing. Basically.
Stop it.
She didn't do a Twitter search on this nigga. She didn't do a Twitter search. Keke, you gotta start doing Twitter search on any nigga you have a baby. That's why I think he trapped her, y'all. I don't think she intentionally got pregnant by this nigga. I don't know what happened. Like maybe he poked a hole in a condom. I don't trust it.
I don't think she intentionally got pregnant by him either, but I mean, I just don't see why you would. And for somebody with Keke's amount of money and assets, I still don't think that a year is long enough. A year is not long enough for me to become family Keke overnight and be posting on Instagram.
Especially when he don't make as much money as you. And Keke, please stop acting like it's so difficult. It's wrong for you to think somebody's supposed to be on your. You are 30-something years old. It's time for them to be on your level, sis. It's time for them to be on your level. When you was in your early 20s, that was okay. But now you are in your 30s. It is definitely okay for you to look for somebody that is more on your level. Because having to pick a nigga up off their knees this hard builds resentment.
Can I just oh, go ahead, Necey.
Okay. Are you gonna lose your thought? Because you can go ahead.
I'm not gonna lose it.
All right. DJ Johnson says he's very insecure. She's a brand ambassador for Sergio Hudson. She definitely did fittings after the baby. So he definitely saw her in this dress. He's messing with her job and her money. And then I got two more. Mind you, his brother Dro had a baby with Tasha from Insecure and didn't claim the baby because he was with someone until the internet put him on blast. I remember that. And then the last one from Chantel says he about to stress her out and make her lose the good baby cards. Nah, he ain't gonna do that. Okay, Jamie, go ahead.
I sent it to you, but I can also read it.
Let me see.
Okay. So yeah, it seems like he had a lot to say, and I'm like, this right here definitely gonna get you canceled, baby. So Keke, I don't know how you handle this. I feel like Keke not gonna really like leave him for real in my personal, because she just had a kid by this man, so she gonna try and figure out how they can come back from this. But as far as making appearances with him, probably not. As far as her posting him, I think that's definitely gonna simmer down. And whether he gonna be on her shows, I don't know, depending on whatever kind of contract they got. But I think she gonna try and make the relationship lay low, especially till it dies down. And they're gonna still, they're gonna still be with each other until she can figure out how she can try and change his image of some sort.
What was the post where she was talking about what'd she say? I love my man. Was that after he was doing all that?
That was, I think, before, when she was getting ready to go to the concert.
Okay. I just put up these
she said, I'm not trying to be that person, but I love my man, period.
I was just not understanding what she meant by I'm not trying to be that person. Like, is she not trying to be
a thought?
I was thinking, I mean, it makes sense knowing that it came after or before, but I was thinking it came after. And she was saying, I'm not trying to be that person. Like, I ain't trying to be the girl that look dumb, but I love my man, period.
Yeah. And she knew she was gonna look dumb when she said it. A lot of us be knowing. We be knowing. It's just what it is. It's like, I'm about to be stupid for this moment, and you gonna let me be, bitch, because we all have been. And honestly, I allow women that space, but you can't be dumb for too long and me not say nothing about it. But I did on spiritual word is very toxic. They love to get y'all arguing. So they post, I don't know who this man is, Music and Builds. I don't know who that is. But he posted a whole little situation going off about how the only way to be a good man is to give your woman money whenever she asks, pay all her bills without complaining, and let your woman show that fat ass off in public every day so she can get more likes and niggas in the DM trying to take your place. This way she can keep her options open. And if you got a problem with that, you're an insecure, controlling, broke mother. I mean, other niggas are calling y'all broke. So I don't know why you just
screaming
saying this. But he also said, don't ask her to cover up in public. Be a real man and bring your gun or bring or your big security guard. And if you can't afford one, you a broke nigga. Don't ask her to cook and clean because she ain't no slave. Don't ask her to not dance on niggas in the club either. Stop being insecure. And he was being, to be clear, nigga ain't paying none of everything nowhere around Keke in them situation. So why is you running off at the mouth? This how you know niggas be delusional. You delusional. That man ain't paying no bills around there. He worked for her. How that fit this? Pay all her bills without complaining. And let her show her allow her to show her.
Yeah.
It's the allow for me.
Allow for me.
Okay, the tweets from Darius. What would have happened if Alton Sterling listened and followed orders when the officers yelled repeatedly to get to the ground? People tend to ignore the fact that you're supposed to obey the law regardless of the circumstances. Alton Sterling didn't comply. You hear what I'm like? I can't. Alton Sterling could have made the situation easier for everybody if he would have followed orders and get his ass on the ground and not resist, because all lives matter.
Yeah, he done.
I added the all lives matter, but that's what he was talking like. This was 2016. Y'all, I be saying, I literally just told y'all, I hate whenever people try to use people's old tweets against them, especially whenever they were kids. But in 2016, I do believe that this man had the capacity of an adult brain. I don't even know how old this man was. In 2016, like, are you serious? That's wild as fuck. As a black man, tweeting about another black man should have complied.
I mean,
it's just 7 years ago.
I'm about to say, this is not that long ago. This is definitely a red flag to me. You gotta pay attention to shit like this to me, because I feel like everybody act like these are isolated incidents when you see stuff like this from people, but it's really not. It's not isolated. They really be like something wrong, like
he's 29, so he was 22 when he made the post.
Old enough to have.
That's too old to be tweeting on some shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not at all.
But I feel like he benefit from a different side of the coin just a little bit.
Yeah, ain't
It's funny because his brother has not said shit. Like, his brother is not coming to his defense. Only thing his brother said was, I ain't no hoe no more. Like, that's all he said. I'm not a hoe no more. I ain't had sex and I don't know how long, how I get in it.
That's all you said. What I do? What I had to do with it? I felt bad for him too, because I was like, he really don't have nothing to do with this. Like, but if you was gonna judge somebody for having morals, for having a lack of morals and standards on social media, why didn't you do it with your brother? He's also a representation of you, seeing as though we know him and we don't know you. Only Keke. Right? It only works when Keke is doing it for her. Whenever we do it for us, it's a problem, and y'all like to tell us why we doing it. When a lot of times you can tell the difference between a woman that's doing something for herself and a woman that's doing something for other niggas. Like, you could tell. There's a thirst involved.
Kenny says they were broken up before she announced her pregnancy, and I feel like I remember that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You remember she was with a white boy before him that she used to post?
No, I did not know that.
White boy. I remember the white boy.
She was with that white boy heavy that she would lightweight post, which is why to me it felt like she was with him for like with Darius for 2 seconds. But I do feel like they broke up. I need to find receipts.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, I do. Okay, I'm looking at pictures now. This white boy and them kissing.
Carrie says they were together. Why do I feel like they broke up? They were together. Nah, they were friends. The white boy were friends. Shayna says they were together. I have not a clue.
I appreciate the fact that Saronis is not dumb enough to back his brother up in this moment and to completely separate himself by saying, "Now, how did I get in it? I'm not even a hoe no more." You know why? Because I like that you know where your bread is buttered, unlike your dumbass brother that don't seem to understand that. Like,
he's learning very, very quickly.
And then
because he probably didn't think it was gonna be that big because he's not a celebrity, but Keke is. He probably didn't think it was like gonna be like that big, like nobody gonna pay that much attention or something on his end. And he spoke. He said too much. Talk about some damn morals and standards. Boy, go sit down somewhere.
I think he thought it was gonna go his way. That's what I think. I think he was gonna, because of the people he follows and the people he talks to on Twitter and shit. He probably thought that this would be more on his side because it would incite all of the men he feel like all of the pick me women who feel the same way about it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can come up with whatever reason y'all want. Y'all really do feel like that because y'all want the approval of these people. And the truth of the matter is, they still gonna fuck the girl with her ass out and cheat on you, even with yours covered. So you still gonna get disrespected. So just chill out, okay? Chill out.
Keke gonna have to. She gonna have to. Not necessarily answer to this by saying stuff, but she often comes on her page and she gives these quotes of trying to let the women know how they need to move and this and that. Kind of like positive messages or whatever to women. But this is who you got on your arm.
The gag is, I think he's going to condition her and do little things like this because he's fighting with that little man syndrome, knowing that she got more money than him. So he got to assert his manhood in some type of way since it's not financially. So I hope that she really, girl, listen to the elders, listen to Mary J. Blige, Wendy Williams, listen to all of them and let them tell you.
For real. Please, girl, listen to him before he take your money or try to get child support and alimony out you. Because niggas, he the type of nigga to do that to you. Like this embarrassment shit, like the thing that hurt me the most about it, like watching it happen, is everybody know how like cool Keke is. And you really tried to send a whole bunch of people after her. Like that's what you tried to do by putting it on social media. And the fact that people don't get that, like this was not embarrassing to him until he felt embarrassed by it. And it still wasn't embarrassing until he followed up and made everybody know that he actually felt embarrassed. Up until then, nobody really gave. Nobody was looking at this situation like that nigga somewhere double sick. Nobody was saying that. He looked good.
Yeah, nobody was thinking about him.
Talking about some as a mom. Well, what about you as a dad coming to social media with the bullshit? Yanks.
A mess. Well, I mean, I hope this is his last time embarrassing her, but probably not.
We shall see. She gonna have him at all kind of protests, child.
Let him go. Let him go. You don't have to just let him go. It's gonna be a very situation. Yes, like I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but once he pushed that button and then he got online after the fact to try to make it seem like, oh, woe is me. Now y'all didn't push me off social media. Woe is me, nigga. Bye. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for you. I hope she kick you out the house too.
Well. All right, y'all got any other comments on Keke's baby daddy, not her husband?
No.
Okay, well, that's it, y'all. I want to thank y'all for joining us this Thursday. We got an almost 3-hour show for y'all to push through y'all's shifts, whatever y'all got going on, cleaning the house, whatever y'all do. Y'all be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @OoLadiesFirst. Follow Bondi at Bondi Blue. Jamie, that's me. And you can also follow myself at Necey Dixon everywhere, okay? Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. We're going to see y'all next one. Bye.